GE-VCT 2025 team capsule. Available in-game in the Esports tab.
ये है ग्लोबल ईस्पोर्ट्स का मुंबई बूट कैंप। हमारे एकेडमी प्लेयर्स अभी नीचे आ ही गए, उनको पिकअप करने जा रहा हूँ, लेकिन उनके लिए एक सरप्राइज चैलेंज प्लान है 10,000 वैलोरेंट पॉइंट्स का। अब मैं उनको बूट कैंप का टूर दूंगा और कहीं ना कहीं पे ये वीपी का टिकट छुपा होगा, जो ढूंढ पाया वो उसका। चलो चलते। ओह भाई, तुम कहाँ से ट्रैवल किया?
लखनऊ।
देखा क्या बूट कैंप? नहीं देखा ना अभी तक। इसका क्या यूवी का क्या सीन हो, क्यों लेकर आया?
यूवी का फ्लाइट उसके डैड को चाहिए था कि थोड़ा लेट तक करे।
एमवीपी वो तो मुंबई में रहते हैं, वो लोग नहीं है अभी तक।
बहुत दूर है भाई, भागने का तुरला और पनवेल बहुत दूर है।
से भाई ये कंटेंट में जाएगा।
अब कौन जाएगा? क्या
बोलेंगे ऑटो में है बुटकेल से।
भाई
है बढ़िया।
तू कहाँ से आया? टुडला से ऑटो से आया?
हाँ मेरे बाजू में मैं ऑटो पकड़ के आ गया।
क्रेजी भाई, फिर भी सबसे लेट आया।
कौन कोई टेक लेते थोड़ा एंट्रेंस का, ये मत डालना।
कैसे आएगा उसमें? शाहरुख खान जैसा भाई। इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ।
मैं बहुत शाय हूँ। यो मेरे को क्यों दिखा रहे भाई? मेरे को बोल रहे इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ भाई।
मैं इंट्रोड्यूस करूँ? तो इज माय डुएलिस्ट प्लेयर, बेस्ट प्लेयर।
ऑन कैमरा शाय है, बाकी बहुत चलती है डिस्कॉर्ड पे। ठीक है, अभी कैमरा पहली बार फेस कर रहे तो नौटंकी कर रहे हैं। अपार्टमेंट में तो दंगल मचेगा, वो तो है, और यही रहेगा पहला मचाने वाला।
मेरे को टारगेट वहाँ पे भी मीम में भी मुझे टारगेट किया, यहाँ भी मुझे। सबसे ज़्यादा अगर टीम में 6 लोगों को देखा है तो टॉप में लिल बॉय और कीबो को दूंगा। सबसे ज़्यादा उंगली करते, सबसे ज़्यादा कीबो तो नंबर 1 पे।
यू आर थर्ड ब्रो देन।
मैं थर्ड हूँ, मैं मानता हूँ। नहीं 4th यूवी, 5th राइजन, 6th स्मोकर। ये तो बात है ना, स्मोकर का आवाज़ कितना एक हफ्ते में एक बार सुनते हैं हम लोग।
सबसे ज्यादा रेगुलर ग्राइंड अभी लास्ट मंथ में एनवी ने किया है, बट वो बहुत गाली देखने के बाद, बहुत बोलने के बाद शायद हुआ है।
मैंने खेला, मैं बस हार रहा था इसलिए मैं छोड़ दिया।
अभी भी तू कैब में नहीं है। 2 घंटे से कि वो बोल रहा है 1 घंटा लगेगा। हाँ 2 कैब क्यों लिया भाई? क्या कर रहा है तू? सामान घर लेके आ रहा है
क्या? क्लासिक का स्किन कर लूंगा।
ब्रो ये बंदे ने क्लासिक का स्किन तक बाय नहीं किया, सोचो मत।
तो कैंप का वेट कर रहा था, बूट कैंप
में आने के बाद
सबके सामने स्किन बाय करेगा ऐसा बोल रहा था। नॉट रेडी
भाई, वहाँ से लेना वो नल से।
भाई ये क्यों रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं भाई?
वो नल से लेना।
प्लेट दो लो। मौका भाई आप ठीक खा रहे? आई थिंक ये दाल है, दाल फ्राई।
दाल फ्राई इज नॉन वेज नहीं ना, वेज है ना।
दाल फ्राई प्योर वेज है, उसमें दाल रहेगा और दाल तड़का डाल दो। यो
ब्रो What's up, bro?
What's up?
This is our living room. This is where we sit and we discuss how we lost the scrims. This is my coach right here.
मैं कोच नहीं हूँ।
This is my chef right here. Best controller player by the way. Okay.
या अंदर किसी का मान लो पेट खराब हो गया, इमरजेंसी में यहाँ जा सकते।
I'm sharing room with Ryzen. As you can see, we have got a mirror here, and we got a TV to watch what together. Now we are entering the best duelist room.
यो मैं उस मौका सबसे बड़े यहाँ पे, तो मैंने सोचा कि बड़ा रूम मेरे थोड़ा।
Welcome to my room, guys. This is my and UV's room. This is my walking closet. इतने कपड़े तो नहीं है मेरे पास कि मैं भर पाऊँ। This is a study table where UV is gonna study every night after scrim.
यूवी को लेने अपन दोनों जाते हैं।
सही में?
कौन सी टीम को सपोर्ट करता है?
हाँ मुंबई इंडियंस।
सीएसके को करा कर।
क्यों?
अच्छी टीम है।
That's crazy. खींचू क्या मैं भी आगे?
आ जाना लेना।
नहीं
तेरी फेवरेट टीम है ना?
वो नहीं उठा रहा। हेलो बाबू, where are you? Oh my God. ब्रो मेरे को लगा ही नहीं तू है।
अच्छा भाई।
The goat is here. Can't believe it.
टैलेंट बता दो अभी।
इन लोग कॉफी हो जाए फिर बताता हूँ।
ये क्या बात है?
कुछ तो तैर रहे भाई, साफ कर रहे।
हटो हटो, मेरे को देखने दो भाई तुम लोग।
Oh, and क्या देखना रहा? 10, 11, तो
आधा
क्या आधा?
चैलेंज ये है कि तुम्हारे अराउंड 10,000 वीपी का कार्ड छुपा है, इसने ढूंढा हो उसका।
देखो बाजू में खाते भाई को। मैं देखा था शायद।
पूरे
कहाँ देखा था?
उसमें है क्या कि कहीं भी?
अबे भाई पूरा खराब मत करना घर। किचन में तो नहीं है भाई।
किचन में नहीं है? ऊपर तो नहीं है ब्रो। This is clear guys.
जिसकी वाट लगा गई
इसी के बता दे क्या बता? वो तो कहाँ ढूंढ रहे थे?
क्या करेगा 10,000 वीपी का?
बंडल लूंगा नया वाला। मैं रिकॉन फैंटम दूंगा।
तेरे को तो जी बंडल लेना चाहिए बेशरम।
वो ब्रो
हाँ क्या क्या
वो रिकॉन करना भाई 600 घंटे है तो 100 भाई
रिवीलिंग द एरिया
इसके नीचे
और कौन सा रूम बाकी रह गया
और इसने पेंटिंग ही निकाल दी। हाँ दिमाग लगा ना
यो
कहीं हाथ मत डालना भाई। भाई तो सब टिश्यू क्यों निकाल रहा है भाई? अरे अरे नहीं तुम लोग पूरा बूट कैंप खराब कर दोगे भाई।
यही है ना, मतलब इतना बताओ।
मैं कुछ नहीं बोल
ब्रो
रहा।
ये क्या बात हुई? तो भाई आप थोड़ा अच्छा क्लू बताओ ना राजस्थान को। इसने तो वो भी छोड़ दिए।
हम खेलने जाते हैं अभी।
खेलने आते हैं ये छोड़ के? नहीं पॉसिबल नहीं है, ये खत्म करने के बाद ही आगे जाएंगे। या तो चैलेंज एंड करो या तो चैलेंज कंटिन्यू रहने दो। बताओ
चैलेंज कंटिन्यू रहे।
जी वालों ने एक ब्लॉग डाला था यहाँ पे, ड्रम्स लेके आए थे।
स्लॉट मिला था
जीते थे या स्लॉट मिला था?
दोनों
जीते
के
थे।
टाइम पे।
आ जाओ आ जाएंगे।
यहाँ पे इसको रसी था।
कप्पा भाई का। वेट गाइस कप्पा भाई का।
ओह माय गॉड।
भाई तुम लोग भूल तो नहीं गए हो ना भाई? 10,000 वीपी का भूल तो नहीं गए हो ना?
नहीं
यहाँ पे भी हो सकता है,
यहाँ पे हो सकता है।
यहीं होगा।
मतलब कहीं भी हो सकता है।
क्यूस्टिक कर्व। देखो मैं इतना लालची करके
कप्पा को दिख गया लगता है।
बीबी चाहिए किसी को बीबी? एकदम सामने सामने।
बेटे
मिला फाइनल। ब्रो सामने लगा था वहां पे ऊपर।
10,000 जीत के ना।
ये आई गॉट द बंडल।
एक स्किन मेरी।
क्या करेगा विक्का भाई?
मैं बंडल लूंगा इंस्टेंट।
चैलेंज कहता हूँ गाइस, एनवी इज द विनर। अगले व्लॉग में अगला चैलेंज। सी यू।
It's more than just
Well, it seems like there's a bit of a miss of a name here. While I can see Crips's face, of course, there's Dracorexia written under him, but we'll fix that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of GE Fight Night. Unfortunately, day before yesterday, there was a bit of an internet issue. It seemed like the entire internet world was against us because multiple lines seemed to have gone off at the same time, and clearly they didn't want us to finish that day, but we've come with a fresh face, with a fresh day, and we're back with Fight Night, and we've got 2 games still ahead of us, 2 best of 3s here, one of which of course is right now going to be played with Global Esports Academy and Talon Academy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There we go. Crips is back, guys. Now officially Crips is back.
And depending on who wins this game, they will join XIPTO Esports in the grand final.
Yep, absolutely. And Talon Esports, like you mentioned, they did have quite the close series with XIPTO. and it's very interesting how they actually both these teams fared off. Completely different playstyles as well. XIPTO not at all afraid to take the front step. Talon Academy, while were proactive in certain rounds, had a rather conservative approach to their games. Global Esports Academy as well, a team that has played comps that can allow them to be very hyper aggressive, be upfront and personal, but still end up kind of being on a little bit of a back foot when it comes to playing these games. So there is going to be, a similarity in the sense of gameplay, I believe, today against Talon Academy for Global Esports, and it's all about who's gonna be the better one to play that. Talon Academy, of course, they've got a bunch of players that are still unrevealed. We've got some of their players with very interesting names. Of course, one of them being Cole Palmer, who I very fondly remember. But we will be watching what Global Esports Academy can bring up against them. I'm very excited to see what the veto is going to be like between these two teams. Are we going to see another useless map of Haven come through, which is not going to be of any use? Or are we going to see something new? I would love to see a sunset between both these teams. I think it's a
Same.
great map at the moment. I think anybody who wants to abuse a Tejo on it can do so very well. And no, of course, we are going to go to that. Well, I have a lot of words for this map, but I'm not going to use any of them. But we are going there, Haven. And for a change of fact, this actually has been picked by Talon.
Lots of cool, interesting words to describe Haven in Universe's vocabulary. Obviously, all of them displaying the immense amount of affection, or rather the lack of it, he has for this map. But yeah, Talent picking up Haven. Honestly, I wouldn't really be surprised by it, considering Global Esports Academy haven't really won any Haven games yet. So
Yeah.
if they just want to guarantee a win, they might as well just pick this up, even though it's not exactly their strongest map. But it happens to be a vulnerability for Global Esports Academy right now, and I wouldn't blame them for trying to abuse it.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to both three-sided maps in the first two, and going, of course, to the end of Valorant at Ascent, if at all needed, on the third map. They say end of Valorant, I mean the beginning of Valorant, forgive me. But I would also argue that Valorant ends and begins both at Ascent itself. Everything happens there. It started off with being the most stale map ever, and then now there's so many different variations of how you can play Ascent. It's become a lot more interesting. So, beginning and the end. But to start off with the beginning of this series, what do we feel about this, Crips? Tell me a little bit about what you can expect, because Talon Academy have gone for Haven. Do you think it's a strategy that they've seen GE play and they're very confident that GE already lost to XIPTO, so that is going to give them the confidence that, yeah, we can just go into this with whatever and beat them? Or is this something that is something that, they're trying to change and prepare for themselves for their upcoming season?
I do hope that it's the latter, because that would be the most sound approach. To be honest, Global Esports Academy too, when they play Haven, their macro seems to be fine. Their overall decisions about where to go, where to attack, they seem to be in the right place. The only difference is, while they are trying to take a look at the big picture of the game, they forget the tiny things like peeking together or being in the same line of fire when you're double peeking somebody. So their macro seems to be fine right now. It's the micro tiny things which are causing their demise, and which honestly quite a lot of times makes sure that the gunplay doesn't go in their favor, which is why G Academy has been struggling so far. Because even against XIPTO, we saw that they had the right idea. They knew what their opponents were up to, and they were positioning themselves in the right places to stop them, but they were just not able to win the gunfights because they were not in position to help each other out as well. So that is one thing that they need to fix. And those micro mistakes that can be those mistakes can be made on any map, so it's not a Haven thing, right? Overall, G just needs to make sure that their micro game is still on point, and that will help them infinitely regardless of the map.
I think their micro is something that needs to be worked on. The macro is, they've got ideas that I know are very clear. They know how to utilize these stinger rounds really well as well. They've got a knack for actually kind of maneuvering through these spaces when they have these stingers. It seems like they've almost got a little more confidence because, for stingers, you need to be up close. You need to be a little bit, in the shorter range. So that makes them force those movements out of themselves, where let's say if they're going into garage, right, which has been, I think, the last time they played Haven was the more successful route for them when they had these stingers. So they're actually taking a little bit more faster, more you would say brute force approach when it comes to these stingers, which also should be something that should be copied when they're having their vandals and phantoms. But somehow they kind of slow it down when they've got these better weapons, and it's kind of a switch of mentality that kind of proves in, which I feel like
Yeah.
should be a stable thing. Where if you know you're good with stingers, there's no shot you're not good with phantoms, right? So yeah, unless you're like one of those YouTube streamers who only play stinger till you reach radiant or some nonsense, but you're not. You're a part of G Academy. You should be able to do more. While your macros are really good, it's time for them to be just a little more precise with when you're taking the confidence to peek up somebody, or you're popping out of a smoke, you're taking a double peek, where two angles you're peeking out of. Extremely tiny details, because I feel like this, the minute that little nook and cranny is kind of like fixed, like straightened out, I feel like this team can give a great start to their second campaign in VCLS as well. It's supposed to start very soon.
Yeah, and it seems like a tiny issue. We're calling it micro adjustments, but trust me, this is what makes the difference. This is like the bread and butter of Valorant. And once you master that, you don't just become better by like a margin or like a multiple.
Yeah.
You jump a whole different division in terms of skill. You jump a whole tier, because that's the actual difference between tier 1 and tier 2 teams. It's always being able to make sure that your micro game, your trades, and your spacing is proper, regardless of the kind of situation that you are in any given game. And once you're able to do that, you're a whole different beast. You're a whole different team. It
Yeah.
literally will not feel like you're facing the same team when an opponent faces you.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be, a very interesting opponent for them as well. Have they changed any compositions here, Talon? I'm just going to have a quick look at what they did the previous time they played Haven. I think they did play Haven against XIPTO, right? Or am I wrong?
I'm sorry, my memory is kind of failing me right now, so it will have to be you. Will you
Yeah,
look it
I
up, please?
think, yeah, they did. No, they did not play Haven. They played Lotus instead.
Hmm.
Talon Academy, and that was both the games of 13-11, the last time we saw them. I'm going to have a quick look at what's their composition for Haven the last time they played it in any which way or case. They did play it again in just a couple of weeks ago. Not even a couple of weeks, actually just a week and a half ago. And their composition is very interesting. They have run the Waylay for their last 8 games consistently, and it's
Across
proven
maps?
to. Sorry?
Across maps?
No, across Haven. The last 8
Okay.
Haven maps have been with this very interesting composition of Astra, Breach, Sova, Wise, and Waylay.
Honestly, not bad. I kind of like this composition. It brings me back to 2023, where people would run the Sova Breach composition for almost everything, and they would have their jet get ready to peek on the back of the Breach flashes and the Breach stunts. So I
Yep.
think Waylay can do the same thing with like a little more flexibility, since you have a dive and a fallback. They're not the same thing like the jet faces. Yeah, the only difference is while diving, you won't be able to clear the close angles like the jet can while dashing. You dash into a cloud burst and you move your mouse around while doing that, so you have like a extra way to clear out the one and done angles.
Well,
Waylay
it seems
cannot
like
do
they've
that.
changed it again, though. They've gone for the neon one this time.
Hmm. I yeah, wouldn't really mind the neon as well. To be fair, the neon can be quite deadly in the hands of Cole Palmer. We've seen him take some ridiculous fights against Zepto and win them out as well.
Yeah.
Although the bigger problem in this game, I believe, will be Snappy, because he was lurking like an absolute maniac against Zepto in Lotus, and I'm pretty sure he can pull off the same shenanigans in Haven as well. Plus, he's very sharp with his aim, so if he alone can be like a lurking menace and start killing people, things will become very, very difficult.
Yeah, I agree. Well, a little bit of a name swap here, but you can see that G Academy are going with what they know best. They still stick with that Breach Tejo comp, which is very strong. Um, a little point to consider here. Would you swap out the Waylay for GE here in place of Jet? Because Envy actually had a pretty decent game on Ascent when he played Waylay the last time against XIPTO Academy on that map of Ascent.
Mm, that's comfortable on melee, then yeah, I would definitely swap it out. I believe the A and the B hits will be much more safer with the melee, considering you have a nicer fallback. Although I don't believe that it will be that easy to head in and just pick up the melee, without much practice. So he's definitely going to need to do some of that. For now, though, Envy, as the lone jet, he's going to dash right in towards a link, and Teletubbies was indeed stunned. The backup from Astra, the concussion, the Nova Blast was amazing, and he could have capitalized on it. But Teletubbies, even though he's stunned, one taps NB and sends him back to the Nether Realm, which basically proves that Talon Academy, they are gonna have to defend the A side now that G attack is gonna be inbound. This is the backup option. Double peak comes through indeed, but Kibo good for only one. UV also gets one trade at the very least, but Keeper's kind of trapped over here, and that is it.
Yeah, there was too many over there. AMG had a bit of an inkling, but unfortunately for them, numbers were far too many for them to make sure that they could get away with what they have. G Academy, of course, who are starting on the attacking side. They will be going down now to their eco round, and they are forcing out a fight towards that C side. It seems they've got their attention completely trained out there. And Little Boy just going to put on the star front and close just to make sure they have a little bit of a crossing space here. Salvas go in to clear out the tripwires. Any of those that could be close by or even on side that could prevent Envy from dashing in. Here is the attack coming in. So Flash is going to go in. Envy ready to dash in. Finds a package as well, special delivery to help him out, but nothing of value found just yet except for just the enter into side. They're jumping along with classics, just a one for them at the hands of Lil Boy, and they're struggling to hold on to this side. Lil Boy finding another one. He's trying to get as many guns down as he can. Unfortunately, 2 is all he's good for, and comes the flank from Cole Palmer. That's going to be number 2 for Talon Academy.
The counter utility from Talon Academy was so damn good. Like, the moment Kibo threw in that flash and the dash went through, there was a return paranoia coming in from CT. You also had Talon's breach throw in a couple of flashes towards default almost instantaneously, which basically means whatever advantage G Academy had while dashing in, and if your opponent is flashed or whatever, you won't get to kill him because you too will get flashed, and by the time you are ready to fight again, your opponent is also reset. What a way to just smother the momentum that G Academy rolls in with. That being said, this was just an eco, so I don't think G Academy will be too sad about doing this one. Oh my god, Ryzen dry peeking Cole Palmer and winning? That was very risky, but hey, it pays off for him this time at the very least.
So he does. Oh, the flash is brilliant. Surf almost good to get one there, but now he's on the right corner. The trade will not come through for him. Kibo gets away with one, and he's probably going to get the other one here. No, Surf at least make sure finds the one trade. Lewin trying to play along with his smokes, but UV aware of the fact and will be making short work of him. One's going to go down. Ryzen gets another orb to farm up here as he gets closer to the Armageddon, and Snappy going to hold on to this judge, hoping that somebody decides to be a little greedy and pop through it.
Will he be greedy this time though? I don't think G Academy are in a position to become greedy right now. They know that their opponents will not have expensive weaponry. At best, he could have a Guardian. They know they don't have any Phantoms and Vandals, so no need to try and go for the hunt over here. It's not like their economy is any great either, so they would rather save. So yeah, I believe the brute force attacks on A did work out for Global Esports Academy, but there were a couple of things that could have been avoided. Ryzen dry peeking and winning the first duel, not gonna happen every single time, man. You got away with it this time, but can't rely on you dry peeking and getting kills. So I would love to see a little bit of counter utility from G Academy once again. That will help them set up for these early fights.
I need a drop.
Yeah, I like the approach. Now it was a lot more of double peeking in that round. I hope they continue that, make sure that they take fights together, understand the positioning. They've done that well to make sure that they isolate the fights as well on this A shot, especially when Surf came in. Even though the breach came through the aftershock, it was still a fight won. And now Cole Palmer already with the operator trained towards that C main side. No one going to challenge him though. An early smoke to cut off A control as well. GE, while they are getting a little distracted by the control taken on the A side, they're forcing on towards C, and Envy facing the wrath of their operator in a very obscure angle there. That's gonna throw GE into a bit of a mix. Where do they go now? They've seen the op on C. They find one initiator on B as well, which means A is up for grabs here. Surf's the only one there, spots him out, gets back instantly, and the rotation's already through.
4v5.
Locating targets.
Global Esports Academy. They definitely will be a little weaker without their duelist, but he gave up his life for practically nothing. You sent him towards garage, sent him to die over there, but then you didn't capitalize on the distraction enough. And now, the majority of Talon Academy who were present on A are already racing you to the C side, so all your fakes have been kind of ineffective, and Talon are ready to intercept already. Because they don't seem to have any other option.
30 seconds left.
The side and Chico and Rise
One
are
enemy
fighting
remaining.
strangely.
Spike
My
down.
goodness,
C.
Levin returns back.
One enemy remaining.
How on earth has this been possible? He just turns the back around on his head and Yubi comes through with the
I
clutch.
am everything that you're not.
What a wonderful round. So brawly, it's full of these skirmishes.
Yeah, came down to a 3K from each side to kind of have any impact. Lewin made GE feel very nervous in those few seconds there. UV had to come out and clutch it out again. That was, of course, GE Academy. Losing out on a round, losing out on numbers rather, that they really shouldn't have in the way that they did. Lewin stood his ground and found 3 there. Not something that you see happen all the time, especially in such a tight angle. Early cam towards C that actually doesn't spot anybody, and G were hoping for that fact. He's gonna try and destroy that camera, but nothing of that sort happening just yet. It's alive and finally spotted. But the camera's seen too though, which means that they are gonna find that C site a little more readily available because they know that then eco is on.
My ult's
It's
ready.
gonna delay them for a couple of seconds longer. Weapons being exchanged so that Envy can jump in through. Cypher's put down a tripwire, and I'm pretty sure this has been heard. And Snappy's gonna have to retract away because there's no way he can hold this on his own. The initiators on their way here right now. G have to kind of speed things up here. You've seen them lose out to these sheriffs before, and now that there's a stun and a recon available as well, as soon as they enter the cavity, this is gonna be hell.
So much flexibility to keep carrying it. The rolling thunder does go through, and NB diving in. Killing everyone else who's trying to enter. Full power is already arrived.
One enemy remaining.
Bucky can be dead.
Spike down.
David
C.
once again.
My ultimate's ready.
This solo performance,
Thrifty.
keeping his team alive, and the side as a distraction. Teletubbies with the final kill. Talon Academy, what a way to hold on. They are unfazed in the face of that rolling thunder. They have absolutely no remorse. They don't even care that the Global Esports Academy are trying to brute force their way in. They fight fire with fire.
Yeah. Going around the block now. Global Esports took too much time to kind of get into that little C site.
Placing
That
wall
ended
trap.
up being a problem. I was calling it. They need to be a little early on here, giving Talon Esports too much time to rotate, especially when both the initiators have their full utility kit available, is a troublesome thing. Moving out on an important round, 3-2. Talon Academy maintaining their lead, not going to give it up just yet. Camera currently spotting out the drone already, and they know that garage has been taken out. There's a smoke down there. There's a Bucky in the hand of Envy. They're going to just let him sit there, marinate Talon Academy as much as he can, while they explore other options. But Talon wants some information, so they send out a drone that spots nothing. And now they're kind of going to start exploring by themselves. Talon, they're gonna get a little antsy.
Scanning ahead. The hit inbound. Quite a lot of suppressive utility towards C-Link, but that is right. They haven't smoked it off just yet.
Spike down B. Last player standing.
Will look to exploit in. That was a very weird execute from Global Esports Academy. I would say they used their own Astra smoke, put it inbound, and they burst out of it. They have a bunch of utility, the stuns, and if I'm not wrong,
got enough time to go into the Astro Shop?
delivery towards that C-Link area. And they wanted to fight over there,
Thanks.
but they just could not really capitalize on time. And basically the crossfires from Talon Academy kinda smothered them as they even took their steps in.
Get out of my way.
Academy ready for an attack on A. The stun, counter stun as well. Gonna hold off both duelists for the moment, but they're gonna fight here once again. Envy stunned up, trying to use the blaze. Not gonna work in his favor. Cole Palmer gets away with 2. And Surf is now in a sneaky position. I'm not sure if Kibo's gonna expect this, but he's not gonna give him the chance to exploit that. UV hoping for a bit of a straggler, trying to run between lines here, but nothing of that sort. Tripwire going to be broken. UV's going to get a little bit of a movement going on that B side, which is empty at the moment, and it's drawing rotation. Lewin, aware of the fact that somebody could be up front and close, but he's being alone, and UV's ready for it. Giving this kid a 1v1 is not the wisest of choices, and the drone goes through. G looking to probably force the fight on A-Link. Yeah, they're going to do exactly that. Counterstun comes in. It's not good enough. And Kibo gets one. Surf with the trade.
Down A.
Things stand by as 2v2 ensures.
Yeah, but they can't even plant the spike now. They have to go ahead on a recovery mission. And they scoop the spike up, but are they going back to B? Nope, they pivot towards A.
One enemy remaining.
Prevent the crossing.
Last
Gets
player
one.
standing.
Snappy
Spike
a little
down
late to the
A.
party. But I think he knows exactly where UV would be.
Spike planted.
UV has the ultimate if he wants to force the issue, but no! Caught unaware. He did not expect Snappy to be there this early.
Well, more charges. Snappy played the timing perfectly. UV was still kind of panicking for information. They had no idea where the Cypher could be. And he catches him off guard. 5 and 2. Even after having 2 decent rounds back to back, Talon Academy are able to stitch together 3 in a row, and that's going to cause Global Esports to kind of take a slow down here in the approach. It's once again going all around the place. They've not been the best at these attacks. They're not able to hold on to the pushes coming in from Talon as well. Every time Talon are managing to get away with at least 2 kills in every bout that they've got. Cole Palmer got away with 2 this time. Snappy got away with 2 the other time. Then there was an eco where another 2 kills came in from another one of the players, which I can't remember. But every time there's something needed from Talon Academy, one of the players is stepping up to get 2 out of it. And G Academy are not able to trade in the same regard.
G Academy, so far they've shown us what their brute force attacks can do, but their mid-rounding, especially towards B, has been somewhat inconsistent. Like sometimes it works, they're able to get inside the side and at least get the plant. But more often than not, whenever they try to fight on the back of their utility, they're not able to properly capitalize on the timing. Like by the time your flashes go out and your stuns go out, your opponent has already recovered from those flashes and stuns, so they are in a position to fight you again. That timing is also something that G Academy need to fix up, but at least their spacing has somewhat improved from last time. So baby steps.
Yeah, it seems like they're gonna give up that very interesting wall there. I think UV's missed the placement of that sheer wall, and it's gonna just let them to force themselves into the C side, where the Steel Guard's allowing them a bit of space. But that triple tag here and getting the kill as well, which means that the flank has now been reduced to nothing, and that's going to get the advantage in terms of positioning for Cole Palmer and his breach. They're going to come on a bit of a long flank, and they've already taken out the Astra here. 3 versus 5, and 2 of them are already pretty darn low. They already know this, so they're trying to force the fight. All 3 detected once again. They're straggling for whatever they can find. Breach all committed as well, just to make sure that nothing gets out of this round. Envy can do nothing but watch Surf come and kill him. 6 and 2, and Global Esports got torn apart there by one single Hunter's Fury. And honestly, I'm also not sure what exactly happened towards that A main side. Why UV's placement of the sheer wall. Yeah, I think he didn't even realize that was placed that way.
He probably placed it in a hurry and then forgot to, pick it back up, and the round had already begun. So like, now he cannot pick it back even if he wants or something like that. So yeah, there was a bit of an error over there. if that ball did not go down wrong, maybe Lil Boy could have been alive, because he got shot in the back as the flank from Talon Academy comes through from window. G use their Armageddon to clear backside.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
This Sova utility is just such a menace. It's not being broken, and the scans are giving them live feed of where they need to pre-fire. Every single time Talon Academy, they are pre-firing Global Esports players, and it's only because the recon darts are just not being broken. Yeah, Surf is being such a menace to them. That triple Hunter's Fury tag in the previous round. Plus, he figured out that they're pushing CT, so everybody knew about where he's going. Surf is being a real menace. Now, Ryzen has to be a menace himself. Sneaking in towards A. Can he try to force the fight over here? Snappy with the camera. Looking elsewhere, but now he's going to join his fellow teammate in battle. And the stun in the face of Snappy doesn't really save his life.
Yeah, didn't expect Snappy to be right next to him for the trade there. 7-2. Global Esports had a bit of a massacre outside of A main. Cole Palmer manages to get one before anybody even sees anything towards A shot. That smoke covers up that kill so well that there's no potential for trade, even though he goes a little aggressive, gets a little too greedy there, and Keep was able to shut him down. And then comes the support once again. You thought there was one layer to that? Nah, there's three layers of A pushes that were constantly crossfires created at the moment instantaneously as they played along. Well done from Talon Academy to hold on to that A side. And now G trying to force the matter towards the A side. It seems like they've already entered into a shot, and there's a Stinger play again, Crips. Stinger gets the first pick, and Lewin's going to trade him out. Teletubby's going to get it back. I know it's a little disappointing to not see what's happening on the screen right now. And there we go. The back we switch. As Lewin holds down the side all by himself. And I'm just seeing what happens.
Wow. Yeah, another impressive triple kill from Lewin. These guys just stacking up 3 Ks one after the other. He's shown us one already on C side. Now he's done it on A. All we need is a triple kill on B side from Lewin, and he would have completed the entire triangle, the golden triangle on Haven. Get 3 kills on 3 sides of Haven. That could be like a Xbox achievement or something.
Now we win.
Yeah. I swear I would have probably seen one of those matches in probably one of Queso's streams.
Yeah. And it just pops up on your screen, top right corner. Bing. Achievement unlocked.
Well, another A main push. This time around, UV is able to hold it off. Not that much of utility actually being poured in by Talon Academy this time. So UV was able to actually hold down that line of sight and take down the duelist pretty well there. Envy allowed to kind of creep into that garage side, and the camera's going to be spotting him. He takes it out though. And here goes a bit of a scouting ultimate from the Omen. He scouts out C-Long, calls it to be clear. Teletubbies gets one trade back onto Ryzen, and the A site now seems to be where Global Esports are intentionally going to start moving towards, because they realize that Teletubbies had pushed up so far deep. He's probably going to be guarding that A side alone. It's a good decision to kind of chase him slowly and find openings there. Swapping positions here.
Yeah, and because Global Esports Academy in the previous mid-rounds, they have tried to gravitate towards the B side. That's why Talon Academy were also guarding B. But now that G have already made their entry into the B side, they should be able to plant at the very least without any problems. I say that, and Surf is putting a bunch of shock darts. And the aftershock. Kibo gets utility bullied. 4v3.
This is always a problem when you smoke off Heaven and you're going for that under Heaven plant. You always susceptible to shock darts and a lot of utility from the initiators, especially when you know that they've not used anything. Surf just runs in from. Oh wait, never mind. He just spammed from Heaven up for long, and he found UV purely basis on luck, or rather just skill of understanding where the position could be. And Envy is just gonna sit here and wait for the bullets to come to his face, not even being able to see them. 9-2, Talon Academy just toying with Global Esports as this match goes along.
Man, that cyber cage was such a game changer. Look at the placement of that. He tosses in as the members of Talon Academy are going through. And what that cyber cage does is it breaks the crossfires between any player who might have been between Graffiti and Hell. Plus, any player from Hell who's dropping down can jump into the cyber cage, and he's not going to get shot as his feet land on the ground. So that is amazing because it acts like a mini launchpad. It lets you all just gather inside the cyber cage and then burst out of it, dismantling any sort of post-plant crossfires that G might have established. And it's in the moment utility like that, it's really making such a difference for Talon Academy.
Yeah, like I said, they're playing on the fly. They're able to create crossfires, on the go. They're not afraid of taking these fights together. Even if one player goes in, there's almost a second player instantly swinging behind him, if not at least 2-3 seconds later. Envy finds the opening. Here comes the rolling thunder, and he's able to manage to dodge it as well as the Armageddon from his own teammate. That clears off the B side, but Envy needs to get another, and he will manage to do so. He's taking up so much attention here.
Wow.
Envy finds a third as well in that little bout. And the duel is doing God's work here for GE, but they're heading into a wrong read. Both the members of Talon Academy who are surviving are currently present here. There is a Hunter's Fury as well to deny the plant. The Recon does reveal one, and Cole Palmer's going to play off of that chaos. He most likely is going to enter in. One's been spotted, one's been tagged, but no kills just yet. And they're going to have to patiently wait for them to plant now.
Yeah, but this is the second time or third time maybe the recon dot hasn't been broken. That could have been an easy kill.
30 seconds
Drone
left.
also detected. Now you know
Spike
there's one person
planted.
with graffiti. And if there's one graffiti, it has to be one shot. One playing on swing, other playing on contact. So they figured out majority of the G Academy positions. Even though this 2v4 is difficult for Talon Academy, it's not like they're not gonna go for it.
Oh, the Recon again.
Oh,
Gonna be broken
yet
this time.
another recon, yeah. This will reveal Kibo's position for sure. And I don't think anyone's gonna break it.
No, they didn't break it. They did not break it. Surf got two! How did Surf get two? He manages to get a third as well. And UB's in the same position as last time that Envy was. And they have just given away a 4v2 because one singular recon was not broken. And even after that, I want to understand one thing very simple. If a recon is not broken and you know that the player in cubby has been detected, there is no point of you swinging early until Kibo takes that first contact anyway, because they have to come and fight him first. They have no other ability to kind of force him out of that angle, right? So because those two peek first, Kibo's contact angle there goes to complete waste, and he gets isolated after the first two guys swing out. And both of them, by the way, got taken out in a single spray down.
I need a weapon.
Yeah. It's just that the recon dart has been such a big problem. It's not like Surf is putting some crazy recon darts which are landing in obscure spots and you can't exactly predict where they will land. No, these are all very standard recon darts, but they just haven't been broken even a single time. And every single time the recon doesn't get broken, Talon Academy are able to pre-fire you and they win these duels. Like a 2v4, they had no business winning. With G Academy holding decent crossfires and you still lose. So, yeah. I think one protocol that these guys need is to figure out who exactly is going to be the designated recon breaker. Oh my god, UV playing in the smoke, hoping to pull off some solo shenanigans. He's managed to buy himself some space. Kibo looking to swing out on the back of his flash, but it hits nobody and his shots are also hitting nobody. Leaving with the quadra.
Yeah, of course he does.
Can he get the ace actually?
Oh,
nah,
okay,
Snappy steals it from him.
That's just cruel. He was right there, right next to you, but somehow you take away. I mean, Levin's had how many multi-kill rounds now? I think this is his 4th multi-kill round. He's got already, I think, 3Ks if I'm not wrong, if not anything. Maybe 2 3Ks. But
2 3Ks, yes.
Yeah, which means he's put up close to 10, 12 kills with just multi-kill rounds. Well, here they go again to close out the map as soon as possible, and it seems like B is where they find the comfortability to do so. Cole Palmer just jumping around like a madman, and he finds space like it's nothing. Shelby sitting in that smoke, hoping that the Stinger's gonna work some magic again, and Snappy's holding on to the back lines of A, where Ryzen's gonna come in through very soon. But GE is so fragmented right now in completely different positions. No utility from the initiators that's going to help them here because they're going to take their individual fights. And there we go. First one's gone. The second's going to peek out a garage. The Breach, who's inside, who could initiate something, is not going to get anything done either because we just saw the Astra put down a stun on the back of side, but nobody to follow it up to actually try and get that fight down. UV and Little Boy need to peek out together, and they will get one each. That's going to be a little bit of a step forward. All right. Aftershock coming through from garage. That's going to help Talon stay alive a little longer. UV needs to find one, but nobody's helping him. Again, he is sitting there trying to take the fight all by himself. The remaining two will die to the spike. Maybe UV should have gotten that call as well. I'm not sure. There could be a comms barrier here, but 12-2 and another round here that has gone down for Global Esports in a very, very difficult fashion.
That was a bit difficult to watch. I do believe that G wanted to probably die to the spikes in order to not give away all those ult points, but that is also such a difficult decision to make in the face of map point. This time Talon Academy are leaving nothing to chance. They don't even want to pick up any delayed fights. They just barge into the B side, loud and in charge. And they're just going to go for the plant within the first 10-20 seconds of the round. How do G plan to retake this one? The drone gets broken, but it realizes that there's gonna be a backside and a left side crossfire. Envy trying to break the crossfire by dashing through, but Levin's on top. Envy still wins the fight against him. A quadra for Envy. The hero performance comes through. And this man is the embodiment of evil. He is the hero and the villain himself. What an ace.
Well, he did have an absolutely crazy round in the attack side as well, where he was able to find 3 while he was fighting in the same position as A-Link, and it seems like it's a position that's very favorable to him. And getting an ace, he did that in the last game as well, by the way, if you remember, against XIPTO. He managed to get an ace, so individually, he's been doing his stuff here and there. But it's still 12-3, Crips. It's still a world away.
Probably a universe away, if not a world.
Me? They're away from me.
Yeah, you are
I mean,
in another
yeah.
city.
Levin's
wow.
gonna find one through the smoke. Yeah, of course. Why not? Just right through the smoke, he finds one. Kibo spotted Snappy here, so they know that the lurker is going to be found here. Double swing after the flash, not going to give them anything. He's playing on a bit of an off angle, and they don't even expect it. They thought he's going to sit in that cubby corner, and Snappy pushed down the cage. So much chaos, so much confusion. Global Esports Academy here being
Headshot. My ultimate is ready.
toned down piece by piece. And even though Ryzen's managed to get a trade back there, he's got 4 more coming the same direction. The drone's gonna help him for a second. And here comes Cole Palmer just running straight through, but he's gonna manage to get him through. The trade still good enough. Teletubbies able to keep up with his fast-paced duelist. And the flank will be taken care of as well. Lil Boy had no idea that somebody could be holding that. Should have had an idea, and that's left UV in a 1v3. He's pulled off this clutch before. He needs another one now to keep his team alive. Spots one, information of the other two, not at all visible, but Lewin doesn't need it. Another 3k round from Lewin as he will lead his team to a 13-3 victory against Global Esports Academy.
What a brilliant performance from Levin, man. This guy's just getting multi-kills upon multi-kills.
Yeah.
How on earth is he just so consistently good? And that too in every single scenario, whether he's entering, whether he's clutching, whether he's retaking. He just seems to be firing on all cylinders regardless of the situation. So kudos to Levin. What a game.
Absolutely. It was quite the performance. Honestly, the first 6 rounds did not dictate the way this game was going to go because Global Esports found 2 decent rounds in the beginning. I thought, you know what? We've got a bit of a game on our hands. I think Global Esports have an idea about how to play against this. But the biggest difference, again, being the switch up of the understanding that Talon Academy don't need to play with their Waylay comp, because I just had a look at some of these people, excuse me, talking about Talon Academy in, VLR's threads. They do have a bit of a slower play style with the Waylay until the point of burst. And instantly, I think this is as a result of watching XIPTO play against them, that Global Esports are not able to handle the speed of trading that comes through against them. Because even if you saw the way Cole Palmer is able to entry in, the breach, the one who's actually giving most of the setup util is the one who comes in to trade as well. So you see, it's not another person who's following him. It's the guy who gives the util, which gives you the spacing difference of what GE had, which was decent in the first few rounds of this game. And then what Talon showed towards the end, where if you have a Neon running in and the Breach is coming to trade you out at the end, clearly there's a bit more of, team coordination that kind of happens there. And G need to work on this a little bit more. Maybe throw Haven back into the grinder, try something different, because clearly this is not, the streak of losses, while they have shown bits and pieces of good rounds, they've actually been better on other maps than this one.
Yeah, but some of the mistakes that they are making on Haven are universal mistakes, which I think can be made on other maps as well if they don't fix the fundamental issue. Like for example, breaking the recon. I
Yeah,
don't think
that was
there's not one person whose job is to dedicatedly break the recon or break any KO dagger or any other initiator utility that's thrown at you. There generally is a person who's assigned this duty, and G Academy, they did not have that one assigned person this time. And it's not like Surf was using some crazy recon darts. No, he was using the pretty standard ones. Nobody broke that. And the biggest result of that were the barrage of multi-kills that not just
that
Levin,
4v2
but even
round.
Teletubbies was able to get. Yeah, the 4v2 round is just the actual prime example of what happens when you don't break the recon properly. But there's many more instances, so many times where I believe when Talon were on their defensive side, they started forcing fights on A short and they try to crunch with A main pushes as well. They fight A lobby and none of the G players break the lobby recon. Everybody gets pre-fired.
Yeah, and the one thing that I also wanted to point out, that somebody just pointed out to me, was that in that 4v2 round, the Breach was the one playing first contact, when he's the one who's gonna mostly be setting up. So if maybe Kiba would have positioned himself under Heaven, that stun probably Fortnite would have been a lot more useful to stop those two players from coming in, because the fact that they had the confidence to try a retake on a 4v2 with no push out util, just one recon. The Neon Ultimate wasn't even used in that round, by the way, which is even more dedicated to the fact that Global Esports is positioning. I think it was just a result of confidence being lowered because of the number of rounds that they lost. But you cannot afford to lose a 4v2 even if you are 10-2 down or 11-2 down, right? So it is a difficult map for them to have gone through. But we saw in the previous series, they bounced back on Ascent. I hope they're going to bounce back on Lotus as well. Although this again was a decently strong map for Talon as well, because they drove XIPTO to 13-11 in this as well.
Yeah, Lotus is a big bit of a strong map for Talon Academy. So G Academy will have their work cut out for them. And in fact, over here, you could see that Talon Academy was still making certain plays which you could tell are not well thought out, pre-planned things. These are all just in the moment executes, especially when you go for the B to A link control plays.
Yeah.
You could tell that Talon are making this up in the moment, and even then it looks so smooth, it looks so good. I can't imagine what's going to happen on Lotus, where they've had the opportunity to do all of these things in preparation, in practice, so they won't even have to rely on in the moment impromptu stuff. They will already have this drilled down.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot more now to worry about, because the same way that they took A main control on Haven is going to be the exact same way they force onto A main on Lotus as well. And I'm not sure where exactly the side is going to be where they're starting. They are starting on defense, and look at their comp as well. It's actually the exact same comp on both sides, but the forcing of that aim and control is going to come in almost every single round. They have 3 flashes to exploit on that aim in side, and if not, they've also got a paranoia available on the back of it as well. So it's a very strong aim in take that they're going to keep exploiting as much as they possibly can. And Global Esports, well, it seems like they're interested on the B side, and it's a good call as well, because the Viper's right now alone there. A bit of an isolation here as well. As
oh no, Envy.
Oh, never mind. They're going back. They find Envy, but Lewin and gets in the... Wait, what? Just...
Spike down, C.
Wow. The chase down is impeccable. I can understand how Envy died. He basically teleported to his death, but Lewin getting that triple, that's just... Oh, man, that's just brutal. We already praised him a lot in the previous map for getting all these multi-kills, and now he starts off with one. His confidence is gonna be on a whole new level.
Yeah. Well, it seems like he ended with a 3K, starts with a 3K, and there's no did you see the way they kind of just moved? It almost seemed like the smoothest transition where the minute they got the A control, they saw the B utility, they went into B, and then the door opened and they also went towards B main with no fear, by the way, that anybody could be holding them from behind. And Global Esports should probably have situated one player on towards B main to hold that late flank, or when they open the door and try to fight in a crossfire. Nothing of that sort. And Global Esports now on an eco, going to challenge that A main side, where a stun being held at the moment. Wall's going to go up. Drone's coming out. Cole Palmer takes out a teleport, but he's been spotted anyway, and Envy's going to get that out. Teletubbies, though, gets a double trade and manages to get out of there as well. And gets to actually the side itself. That's a very safe trade that he's gotten out of it.
It's a trap. As soon as Snappy makes contact, Teletubbies is probably going to peek out of the smoke. Doesn't need to just yet because they're winning these duels, and here he comes, swinging out. And it's a double for Teletubbies, make it a quadra in the overall round. And these guys are just farming their ult orbs.
Well, 2-0, pretty quick and simple. It's been less than 2 minutes, honestly, that these rounds have gone by. And now it's a 4-buy for GE here. I'm surprised that no Outlaw's been purchased just yet. I thought there would be one in the previous round, considering that GE did actually buy in a couple of weapons, so a few of their players would be a little bit on lower armor, but they're still confident with their sheriffs, it seems. Cole Palmer's going to hold on to it. A lot of spam of util here, and Global Esports instantly discouraged from that A main side. They're going to have to force the fight back to where Lewin's holding, and we know how good he's been on his own today.
Yeah, but there's plenty of time for Talon Academy to rotate. They're using the snake bites and the viper poison clouds to keep them at bay. Even the paranoia goes through, so G attack has been smothered. Look at these two people, kind of isolated. Snappy dives in. Luckily, UV also ignores the smoke and disrespects it to go and help his teammate out. But Talon Academy can do the same as well. The counter flashes are insane, and G Academy are just simply not being allowed to plant. Forget planting, they're not even getting towards the bend in order to actually go for the plant. Guided salvo keeps them away once again, and now there's no escape options available either. Cole Palmer was guiding their backlines. It's not Cole Palmer, it definitely will be served. Catches UV off guard.
Nah.
Kibo had no way to pre-fire him.
You think they're worried?
Oh, that's well, honestly, a great round. And look at that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the coach is pissed off. He's not at all happy with what's been going on. It almost seemed like they were trying to force the issue for no apparent reason. No re-clearing of A to try to give them pressure. It went exactly according to Talon's plan, right? What do you try to establish with that aim in double control? The fact that you don't want them to at all come towards this side, explore it, and you either force them to go B, but most likely C, because it's the most retakeable site on this map, right? And if you're going to follow what Talon are trying to do without even trying to re-clear A main, by the way, you threw in no util, you threw in no clone, no drone, not even a guided salvo to try and maybe force Talon to feel a little pressure towards A. They are going to feel the comfort of holding down that C side with as much ease as possible because they know what they're going to have to do there.
And Talon Academy, obviously, even if GE do all of these things properly, even if they re-clear properly, and if they're selling their fakes in the best possible way, what Talon Academy are also doing on top of that is that they are using all of their utility to stall G Academy in their tracks, and that buys enough time for Talon to bring in their rotations and intercept G Academy whenever they are about to enter the site. So it's like G Academy are always facing 3 or 4 people at the same time.
Yeah, the Outlaws come on, by the way. Cole Palmer's gotten it in his hand, and he's going to hold it on, train towards B. And Global Esports this time finally going to try and fight a little bit of rubble control on the round when they know that they are going to be able to do so. No rubble control from the side of Talon, but the rotations have already made it through. Here comes the one swing, and serves good enough to take out UV. That's the smoke wall being dropped on towards the A main side, which means that B door is going to be up for a crossfire here. Snappy, he's gonna depend on Cole Palmer to get these kills here. He manages to find the one on main, and he's gonna play around his smoke. As it drops, he's holding a very good off angle. They're definitely not gonna check this. He gets 1, 2, and a third. Simple and easy for him almost at this point. And this is the kind of nonsense that even I do, man, when I'm playing Omen. Just sit a little bit in front of the smoke, like slight off angle. It's almost confirmed that you get away with at least one. Because who even checks the close wall angle when there's no corner over there to sit on?
Exactly, right? You can't check a corner if the corner doesn't exist. Plus, the only thing that can really break something like that is a flash, and he dodged that really well.
Yeah.
So he's basically a turret ready to spray down anyone who walks in through that smoke, and G Academy were caught over there. It wasn't exactly a crossfire either. Dimensional Drift activated this time. Envy going on a reconnaissance mission. Spots too. That's big information. They tried to send in a fault line on the back of his mini-map confirmation, but fault line doesn't connect. Doesn't need it. Envy still gets the shots in with the classic alone. And he's recovered that weapon as well. So G Academy can now go in for the plant. And look at the amount of aggression. They're taking Hall's control instantly. They try to kill Surf with the aftershock. Takes a tick of damage, and Envy with the judge. Can he hold on? Even if he can't, Kibo has arrived on scene to help him out. Finally. G Academy taking the initiative. Yeah, finally. To take fight into their own hands. Take the matters into their own hands. And, you know, force the issue based on their terms and conditions. Rather than waiting for Talon Academy to respond.
Yeah. That's exactly what they needed to do. Move ahead, take the fight to Talon and force them to feel uncomfortable. But now that they've done this, Talon might be a little wary of it being repeated a second time. Although they do have a Viper Spit to kind of just shut out a particular side of the map. By the way, speaking of all this, it's been 5 rounds. There's been no real ultimate build-up for G just yet. I think there's still maybe 1-2 off that Rolling Thunder as well as the... yeah, there it is. Rolling Thunder as well as the Armageddon. So look at the amount of impact that it's having, right? 5 rounds in, this is the 6th round. They still don't have any ultimates available for them to use, which is such good, you know, playing from Talon Academy that they don't even give them any frags to actually get these ultimates back up, nor are they allowing them to grab the orbs on the map.
Yeah, aim control and mount control both are being consistently denied. At least this time, Talon Academy, they're not going to fight a rubble as aggressively as they did in the previous rounds. So G can pick up the ult orb if required. But I don't see anyone moving towards the orb. They're all just going to filter in through the rotating doors. The flash, not exactly great. Snappy holding up close. The shorty also doesn't kill him. How on earth is he going untraded? Ryzen and Kibo with 1 each, but Cole Palmer beats him to the punch. The movement is just better. And UV, the man who was supposed to hold on against the backstab, has now been left to his own devices. Spike well out of his reach. Time against him. And 3 angry Talon members looking for him. Just creeping with the smokes. Turning his poison wall and cloud on and off. Hoping that he would at least be able to creep in on the back of this smoke. But nobody's going to offer him any fights.
Yeah, that's going to be simple for Lewin. Holds down the angle, knows exactly where to look. And again, it's that micro mistake, Crips. Yes, the Yoru got a flash through. He's got a shot. He's got a close-up angle, right? But why is he jumping out alone? Why is nobody swinging behind him to confirm that kill or at least the instant trade? Snappy managed to get 2 there, by the way, because he got, again, 1v1 isolated fights. A double swing needs to come. If a shorty is jumping, that is going to be the opponent's main attention point. He's going to shoot at the guy who's literally jumping in front of his face, which allows a guy to swing behind and get the trade in down quickly.
Oh. How long can this default go on though? G don't really have the weaponry, but they are still trying to show their presence on either side of the map. Smokes have been exchanged. I don't really see the point of this smoke. This can be very easily countered. They've done this smoke in the previous map as well. You know, they tried something similar in Haven. B-site. and the C-Long and the B side as well. Yes, that too. And basically, when there's a smoke that kinda goes a little deeper in, when it protrudes out like that, you can exit from multiple angles, but it can be countered by setting a crossfire. And Snappy doesn't even need the crossfire. Up close with the shorty, he dodges the aftershock, ready. Oh, he actually does get killed by the aftershock, but the damage is done. It takes a heroic double kill from Yui to save the day.
They do have the rolling thunder here, and Kibo's isolated. He doesn't need to go for this fight, but he's now being thrown into the grinder, and that leaves alone Yuvi. He's gonna have to clutch it in again. A miscommunication. Kibo walking into the side alone, and he takes the fight far too wide. That forces him to the back of side and gives basically himself up as a free target for the guy coming in from spawn, Cole Palmer. No way he's gonna miss that shot, especially when Kibo got slightly injured as well in that first fight. That round could have been won, in my opinion, pretty easily. They had an ultimate available. The Rolling Thunder would have been really good if they had just decided, you know what, we're gonna go for the plant and play for them to come to us.
Even if they decide to follow Kibo's call, even if they go in and force the fight, at least could have done together. So at this point, it seems like they were stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and they couldn't decide on what to do. Yeah, at least they're getting the orb control this time. Envy just won off the dimensional drift. Both the Armageddons are activated at the same time, and the one tiny corner where there's a gap, Lewin cancels the Omen ultimate and stands in that place himself to dodge it. Both the Rolling Thunders exchanged. Once again, Talon Academy are mirroring GE Academy's utility and keeping them away from the side. Snappy has now positioned himself in the one and done corner, but Envy, having already snuck past him, gets the better of him. But now Teletubbies and Surf, they dive through, they put up the Viper's Spade, and it gets completely smothered by Talon Academy. They disrespect GE's utility and go in for the fights. They don't care about whatever GE have to say, what they have to throw at them.
And there it is, yeah. There's no way you're not going to get away with, by the way, 4 ultimates in that round for absolutely no use, because Talon just burnt out 2. The minute you saw that Armageddon come in, there was another counter one to hold them off at bay. The minute you saw the Rolling Thunder come in, there was a special delivery at side to make sure that the first 2 players get stunned, and a Rolling Thunder behind it to get it through. Even though Envy managed to get in, Snappy tried to play a little bit of a cheeky position. Again, that same smoke angle. Envy found him, took him out. But the problem again came in where the players were so separated out, the spacing again caused by that Rolling Thunder, that Talon players were able to get back into the... Did you notice that not once, even though so much utility came their way, not once did Talon force themselves off the site? The most backward position they took was pillar on the back of site. Nobody went into CT, nobody went into waterfall.
How will they go into CT, waterfall? They didn't even get like 2 steps into the site. There was a tiny gap.
I'm talking about Talon Academy. They weren't pushed more further back than just the backside itself. Usually when you see an Armageddon Rolling Thunder, what do? You leave the side. You go towards the spawn.
Side,
These guys didn't even care. They stood their ground. They put smokes around their own selves. They let the judge come in, and then they took fights from that little waterfall connector between main.
Yeah, that's rough. Do GE have money now? No, I guess not, given the sheriffs and the pistols. Stinger is also on board. So yeah, Yuvi just goes on towards rubble, gives up his life, and the rest of them now go towards C in a very telegraphed manner. They are not exactly keeping their positions a secret by the amount of footsteps they're giving away.
Poison's off.
Oh, they're gonna go for a double. Okay, interesting. They park Envy over here, and the rest of them fall back. Actually, now Envy also falls back, but just a little late. Perhaps a B rush is on the cards.
It does seem like
Surf
it.
is holding he's holding a nasty off angle. It's not even an off angle per se, it's just an info angle. He sees somebody and he falls back. Fault lines exchange. Yeah, at this point the breaches are mirroring each other. The aftershock is completely misplaced. Teletubbies goes right past the fault line, jumps through, and gets a double.
He's gone.
Oh, nah.
Oh no, he survived.
30 seconds left.
Huh, interesting. But then there's another flash in his face, and before he can even get his guns and bullets ready, he's taken down.
They don't even care if it's a Stinger. They're gonna throw a Breach Flash and an Omen Paranoia just to make sure that the Stinger guy with low HP is taken out.
And for a second, Surf was like, yeah, the Aftershock is gonna get him. It didn't get him? Okay, he might have teleported away.
Oh boy, this is turning out to be an even worse of an affair compared to Haven just a couple of minutes ago. And we're already 8-1 up here for Talon Academy, and they still have those 3 ultimates trained. Envy does have a little bit of an informational drift here, and he's going to utilize that towards the C side. And Cole Palmer's faking that drone. He's faking it, and he's playing with his food. UV takes him out, and he's going to have a good laugh about that. Nice try, Cole Palmer, but unfortunately, you're just not cold enough as the real one. Yeah, they get the B side pretty convincingly, do clear up a bit of a path for themselves, and finally, for the first time in a couple of rounds, GE have the advantage of men. They fake a plant towards B, and the call's been made for them to go towards C. Can Lewin actually make use of that is the question. Now he's heard them. There's a long flank coming their way as well. Surf's gonna take his time. One spot,
Planted.
little bit of damage exchanged, not so much on towards Envy as it was on Lewin.
All missiles away.
Here we go. 1v2. Shelby's gonna take him out. It's a 1v2 again now. It was a 1v2 on main is what I meant to say. Lewin, well, he has clutched before. Can he clutch again? Lewin, close corner, not being checked, but doesn't even need it. Lil Boy's gonna throw on the second round on the board as 8-2 the scoreline.
Anyone have funds?
Well, that's gonna be GE putting up the second round on the board. A little around the block, but it still comes through. They needed a bit of individuality to step up there, but they were taking the double picks finally right this time. And Cole Palmer once again towards that A main side is going to go on for an aggressive push. He sees one, does not find him, and Lil Boy seems to be finding a wave of confidence that's helping him get on board pretty heavily. Surf, not keen on challenging that without utility, just damages Envy down to half, but Envy trades him through the smoke, and Surf gets a little too ambitious there, and I feel like Talon Academy might give out the shop here. 8-1, you go up. That does sometimes tend to get in your head, and it seems like that's exactly what's happened. Teletubbies in a very cheeky corner could manage to get away with the round itself here. And he heard the plant. Go through, and he will. The wall helps him out. Teletubbies once again playing with fire, but it doesn't matter because UV is going to come in from main. Secures the one kill that he needs, and Lewin.
Spike planted.
1v3 now. Or 1v4. And he's got work to do.
And all of this could have been avoided if there was just a bit of communication about the wall going down. That was the one thing protecting Kibo. UV spots out Lewin. He's offering him a 1v1 battle. I am very against it. At least the other two players are doubled up. And they pre-fire him before he can, I don't know, probably double spray them down like he's done so many times before. So G Academy weather the storm. They survived one more round.
Oh boy. Eight and 3. Global Esports could make this an 8-4, and that would be the best case scenario right now. Cole Palmer does have an op though, and he's going to be using that towards that C side. So no danger in terms of getting one-shotted here for Global Esports. And they're going to force that A control once again. Forced back here, Teletubbies. He is one away from the Rolling Thunder, by the way. So if he manages to get one kill, it is going to be huge for him.
Toxin screen down.
My ultimate is ready. Drone going out. This is how it ends. さらってろ。回復。
30 seconds left.
Yeah, Levin's trying to play around with their minds. He fake TPs right on the same spot. Envy spots him again. Envy stepping up to the mark here. Gets a 3K. And he's hoping for the ace. Cole Palmer on the flank with an op. Not the most ideal of situations. But he does have the Dimensional Rift. He can actually pick up a weapon whilst there. Gets the one. Throws it around. Throws his weapon. Picks up a Phantom. So many targets. Envy just playing around with him. Cole Palmer, absolutely crazy stuff here. Gets a third. Tremendous effort from him, but just not good enough to fight off against 5 of them. 8 and 4, and Global Esports with a decent recovery to bring it back.
Eight 4, not exactly a bad round for G Academy, not exactly a bad half. Certainly better than Haven. Although there's still a long way to go. And if Cole Palmer can keep doing shenanigans like this, especially when he's dipping Envy in his face like that, I am starting to get concerned. Like, what's going to happen when he gets a lot more backup? When Teletubbies is actually throwing in flashes for Cole Palmer rather than him doing it all by himself. That's when things get dicey. I mean, this is a mirror comp, but there was a point when Talon Academy were literally mirroring the timing of the utility as well. Whenever G Academy throws something, they just hit them back with the same thing. And now finally, in the dying embers of the round, in the dying embers of the half rather, they throw in their own original stats.
Oh, that's spot again. UV manages to get away with one, and that's all he needs. Does not need a peek again. Spot comes in. Lewin cannot even teleport away, but is allowed to retreat back. He's still keen on taking the fight here, by the way. Not afraid at all, Lewin. Of course, why would he be with the confidence that he's felt from the previous game and even in this? Ready to play along. UV, 33 HP. Needs to be careful here. Playing with a little bit of safety, and that's the good call as well. Envy and Ryzen find the perfect timing behind Lewin to just run behind him. And they should be able to get that kill as well. But Snappy, he himself is on a bit of a world tour, and he will find a gap that I don't think Global Esports expect.
Down.
Oh my god. How has it come back down to a 2v2?
All missiles
It's
away.
so precarious. Molly holding Ryzen back. Lil Boy has to make headway by himself. I hope he doesn't go around the long way. Then that will be an isolated fight. Yeah, he's going the exact same place, but I hope he did not.
Last player
Oh,
One enemy
Paranoia
remaining.
hits them, but he runs out of bullets. Oh man.
Ah, boy. That was quite the round. Global Esports started off well. UV getting the first pick. Envy coming on the flank and finding 2 as well. But the one thing that they did not account for, Snappy's little maneuver. They were watching spawn, by the way. They were watching spawn, and they thought they had the flank covered. Unfortunately for them, having broken down that B door opened up an avenue for him to kind of actually get into that B side and get 2 kills, sitting like it was nothing. And Snappy adds on to his tally continuously. Cole Palmer will be allowed to take in that orb. No peek from UV just yet. They will check this corner though, I'm pretty sure. Oh, they don't? No, they do. They do.
One enemy remaining.
Eesh. That was fast. G Academy decided to force the fight. They push down A Rubble and they discover the Talon Academy are pretty good at holding their defaults. what's it gonna be now? Because G Academy finally have weapons, and I do believe that they might change their setup just a little bit. The Viper Wall is placed the exact same way you would expect it to be placed, but both the initiators are playing on A.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
Envy's pretty far away as well. He's going to try and force the issue on towards the C main side. Stun. Oh, he has to force away. Too much util coming on his face. And Cole Palmer is going to take the charge up front. Grabs the orb as well. One step closer to his dimensional drift. As Global Esports, they just kind of restrict themselves from taking any further deep control towards A. And this is all a ruse by Talon to just kind of fake out this B and C control. Whereas the real play is going to happen towards that A main side. Drone from Ryzen, not going to detect anything, but a counter drone goes in immediately after. Flash to get through. Ryzen's alone on that A side, by the way, so this is an opportunistic moment for a Talon Academy. But are they choosing to re-rotate again? It's a double fake here.
I don't think this double fake will be, that effective, because G Academy haven't really moved an inch. Nice. Kibo gets a shot onto Snappy. I do believe that might have been through the smoke, but it's now up to Lil Boy to hold on to the C side. Envy arrives to defend him, but the flash is mistimed, and Kulbama has already swung him by that 3v3. Aftershock to deny the plant. They force back just for a tiny bit, but UV with his weapon not out. Could have been killed over there.
Spike down, C.
Very little time left. All they need to do is just delay them from planting, but G Academy successfully get them to drop the spike. Now all they need to do is hold on. UV kills Cole Palmer. Living in a Hail Mary attempt will try to plot the spike inside, and Ryzen calls the bluff. Good timing onto this one. And G Academy were rather unfazed by all the fakes.
Well, that was a decent round from Global Esports to make sure that the time is being played by their hands, not anything else. Cole Palmer was forced to take that fight. I wouldn't say forced, but he kind of chose to take that fight more so because he had enough time to just grab the spike and go for the safer plant while his teammate could cover him up there. But instead, just kind of peek out. And that's going to give Global Esports a 5th round here. Little boy. Stun is going to force him back, and he does have a bit of support here. Oh, Viper Orb. I actually thought that was Cole Palmer again trying to fake out. A bit of a cheeky play here. Not going to be the case. Ryzen clears out Rubble for the most part at least. And Snappy going to use that timing to his advantage and start moving ahead. Talon, slow things down now. As they hope for Global Esports to start making a bit of mistakes. But nothing of that sort being given just yet. The Viper Ops is going to go in. Never mind, it's going to be the smoke coming in once again from the Omen. As Snappy is the one being allowed to make a bit of a move here.
Now if Snappy can find some headway onto this A side, the rest of his teammates will gladly join him. But for now, they're going to park Surf over here, who will probably send in a couple of missiles just to fake things out. Yeah, just a standard and missile and drone deployment. He spots just one player. Will this be enough to sell the fake? Ryzen uses the test delivery just to delay things just a little bit further, but he has been smothered with all the utility. The Paranoia and the fault line comes through. Kibo makes a superhero landing into the site, hoping to deny the plant. Levin's gonna come up and challenge him, and no! Levin fails. Survives just a second longer, but will be put down by Teletubbies in the end. And we don't know why he's peeking towards the right when he flashed left, but hey, Talon Academy, it seems like even though they tried to go in for the fake, and even though G Academy tried to rotate in early on, Kibo was kind of isolated over here, and the rest of his teammates, UV, they hadn't really arrived in time to help him out. So a bit of a desperation attempt over there from Kibo, hoping to still hold the reins of the A side in his hands. He ends up burning himself.
11-5, a step closer to their grand final here, and they've got an ultimate to kind of make things harder for Global Esports here. Although GE do have Rolling Thunder available to them, so retake's going to be a little bit more easier. And all of that depends on where they plan to go. Kibo holding on that A line by himself at the moment as Ryzen does reposition, and they've got a bit of an extra stack on that A side. They want to hold it off as soon as they hear the first contact, which is an interesting choice in my opinion, because that Rolling Thunder should have somebody peeking on the back of it. And I think they're going to open that door and go through it. Dimensional Drift from Envy going in to take information. Spots out one. Does not see the other. He's still holding on, but the time's running out here. And he's going to have to retreat. He only saw Lewin, except for the fact that he knows that this is not C. There's nothing else he found. Ryzen holding on that Armageddon as Talon immediately changed course and they're heading in towards B.
The wrong Armageddon. It's been baited out. That's one less major ultimate from G Academy, and the retake gets that much harder. Even the plant, they tried to deny it, but the guidance was not going to happen. Kibo runs out of almost all his bullets and Snappy is offered the easiest 1v1 of his life. It's just Envy, and he's already stunned. Nice shot with the Guardian. Can he do any more? Apparently not. And Talon Academy really good at baiting out all the utility from G Academy.
Yeah, thinking of using that ultimate, the Dimensional Drift, as I was saying, instead of which they actually gained 2 more ultimates this round by just standing their ground and killing people. They had 1, and now they have 4. So in this final round, when you've got a Viper Spit, a Rolling Thunder, and a Dimensional Rift, and you only have just the 1 Rolling Thunder to counter it with the most scrappy buy possible, what can you do, G Academy here?
That's a massive push out of C. And the Rolling Thunder to boot. Oh, they're forcing the issue here. UV, Envy, Lil Boy, all of them get 1 piece each. And as a result of this, Talon Academy are forced to retreat. They just gonna hightail it towards the A site. The gun is out of reach. It's in spawn. You could see that he wanted it, but he can't get it. 2v4. Man advantage in the hands of G Academy, but Snappy will use the Viper Spit to neutralize the advantage, and a lovely fadeaway shot on.
Yeah, there's a Dimensional Drift available as well, but they do have also the Omen Hunt just to make sure they use this as an expensive recon bolt here. Snappy playing along with sound cues and time. He knows he's got cover every single place. UV just holding on the out of back of side. Time's running out. They need to find an opening here, and it needs to be quick. Envy gets into the smoke. Snappy's ready for it. They take down the Viper, but Cole Palmer sprays down both as he jumps down from heaven, and he secures the grand final spot for Talon Academy. A rematch for XIPTO and Talon here, as they will be heading in towards that final together, and it is going to be in, of course, fashion of the best kind from Talon Academy. Snappy with that first kill on Ryzen itself almost seemed like he kind of took in that round for himself. G found 3 very successful kills by pushing B and C, but again another 4v2 retake that had no substance to how you wanted to counter a Viper Spit. Would you just fly in together? Is this something that you charge in one by one trying to poke for information? It almost seemed too lost on them as to how they would tackle or find even one player in that Viper Spit.
Yeah, a lot of protocols required for Global Esports Academy to counter that Viper Spit. And it's not just the Viper Spit. Even before that, there were plenty of situations where G had the advantage, but they kind of squandered it. One of the few runs where they were actually able to hold on to this advantage is when they took control of that C side and pushed the CT region all the way into the halls. That was the first round that Global Esports acquired for themselves. They tried something similar on C once again, but after that, Talon Academy decided to mirror all their utilities, and they were sending G Academy back the moment they take a step inside. Cole Palmer tries to pretend to be a clone. Yeah, they call his bluff over there, but again, it doesn't matter even if they manage to get that first kill, because G Academy, even after having several man advantages, they were unable to close out a lot of these rounds. This is also one of those prime examples where this round could have gone south, you know. Keeper was planting and the Viper wall just went down, so that was an avoidable mistake. Cole Palmer just farming up these frags, man. G Academy do end up getting an 8-4 half, but immediately after that they concede 2 rounds and Talon Academy get to double digits.
Yeah, well, this is something that Global Esports will have to continue to work on. There's small little micros, there's small little fights that they have to get done together, rather. A few of these moments of brilliance from Global Esports where they go in for absurd amount of aggression and it just works out perfectly for them, because somehow that is a lot more well coordinated than the mid rounding that they do. It's just a little bit of extra practice, get a little bit of that mid rounding going towards the right direction, and it should be better. And look at that, surprisingly, it's Snappy who's got the most amount of first bloods. Actually, he's got 6, which is even better than Envy, who had 4 of his own.
Yeah, Envy was getting all those first bloods, but unfortunately, the follow-up behind him wasn't exactly present. So even though G Academy secured the man advantage early on several occasions, they had plenty of first bloods to boot. Many of those 4v5 rounds, they were not able to convert them. So that's a mistake that has to be avoided. Snappy, though, what do I even say, man? He was getting so many kills from those one and done angles, and they called one and done because you're supposed to get one, and then you get traded. But he turns that into a multi-kill. He's playing on the edges of smokes, and while playing on the edges of smokes, nobody really checks the corner because there is no corner technically.
Yeah.
And he's manufacturing these little spots from where he can get more down kills, and that's what he uses to secure the advantage.
Yeah, Snappy did a really, really good job of playing as the sneaky little James Bond agent for his team. He was absolutely on point, had such good impact, even with the map control that he was finding with his lurks on the attack, and it was just amazing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading into a grand final. XIPTO up against Talon Academy is going to be coming up in just about a couple of minutes. And it is going to be a rematch, of course, where Talon took both the maps that were available to them to 13-11, unfortunately losing out on both, though. And XIPTO being able to just be that one little clutch factor in themselves to take the victory. Is it going to be a repeat, though? I doubt it. I feel like we might end up seeing 3 maps today, which is going to give us a lot more of an understanding as to how good these teams really can be. But Crips, any thoughts before we head into that game?
I'm low-key excited for the grand finals to begin. Both these teams, the last time they faced each other, it was an absolute brawl with both of them throwing everything that they have. There were like some 4 or 5 different variations that Talon Academy threw at XIPTO, and all 4 of them were surprisingly countered. So now they had to start pushing and they have to start creating things on the fly. And towards the end of the game, you could tell that both these teams are coming up with such creative stats. Whatever stuff that they had prepared for before is now out of the window. And we got to see multiple variations of those. So yeah, I'm really hoping for a banger game once again this time. Ladies and gentlemen, the finals will begin in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. We will be back after a short break.
Cialis flawless, broke your wrist as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's in since she isn't gorgeous? Live my life, last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest, do not know when knocking on the door. This came in, I came in, did it like the Porsches coming in. Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. Yeah, LABB who we running with. Yeah, 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright, coming in. Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. LABB who we running with. Yeah, 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10, 10, 10. Yeah. I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. A phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a fool line for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother, I barely can trust you. I talked to a shorty, she bagging the bugging. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate, so hand me the money, I divvy the pie. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune, I'm flipping the ride. I can't be mixy when iffy the vibe. And 40 on 50 is really the time. Why are you all on my phone like you want me? Like you wasn't pushing the kid to the side. I don't know if you thinking I'm blind. Cross on my crosses and dot on my eyes. Done with your efforts, I'm dealing with pressures. I know it's a lesson, that's word of the wise. Dubbing the mixes I'm mixing, I know I've been missing. I needed some personal time. All the pictures, dimensions, I done with your digits. I mean it, I'm staying inside. Cause they got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them, I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. A phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them, I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. A phone in affection, I summon and dub it.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Yeah. Coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, big been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you shaking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action. I'm active. If he never heard of being dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch, I'm broke if you asking. Don't gotta sell most of y'all is flawless. Broken whips as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's in since she isn't gorgeous. Live my life, last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest. Do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, I came in, I came in. Did it like the Porsches coming in. Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. Yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10, 10, 10, yeah.
Standing. One enemy remaining.
They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone in affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone in affection. I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with it online for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother, I barely could trust you. I talked to a shorty, she bagging the bugging. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate, so hand me the money, I divvy the pie. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune. I'm flipping the ride. I can't be mixy when iffy the vibe. And 40 on 50 is really the time. Why are you all on my phone like you want me? Like you wasn't pushing the kid to the side, I don't know if you Thinking I'm blind, cross on my crosses and dirt on my eyes. Done with your efforts, I'm dealing with pressures. I know it's a lesson, that's word of the wise. Dubbing the mixes, I'm mixing. I know I've been missing, I needed some personal time. All the pictures, dimensions, I don't with your digits. I mean it, I'm staying inside. Cause they got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Coming in, yeah, flex, I just wanna win, yeah, LABB who we running with, yeah, 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again, yeah, state your name, big been dope on flame, I just switched the lanes, damn he did it again, I just flipped the pain, stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming, I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, yeah, flex, I just wanna win, yeah, LABB who we running with, yeah, 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action. I'm active. If he never heard of Ben Dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch, I'm broke if you ask it. Don't gotta sell him, most Cialis Lotus. Broken whistles longer than it's foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's an since she isn't gorgeous? Live my life, last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest. Do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, I came in. Did it like the Porsches coming in. Yeah, flex. I just wanna win. Yeah. LABB who we running with, yeah, 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again, okay, alright, coming in, yeah, flex, I just wanna win, yeah, LABB who we running with, yeah, 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10, yeah. I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Why you be all in my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with it who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. My dirty discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother, I barely could trust you. I talk to a shorty, she bagging the bugging. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate, so hand me the money, I did be the pie. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune on flipping the ride. I can't be mixy when iffy the vibe, and 40 on 50 is really the time. Why is you all on my phone like you want me, like you wasn't pushing the kid to the side? I don't know if you thinking I'm blind, cross on my crosses and dirt on my eyes. Done with your efforts, I'm dealing with pressures. I know it's a lesson, that's one of the wise. Dubbing the mixes, I'm mixing. I know I've been missing. I needed some personal time. All the pictures, dimensions. I don't with your digits. I mean it. I'm staying inside. Cause they got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it.
Planted. Last player standing. Enemy remaining.
Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, big dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain, stripping and dipping in base, slab on everything.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hello,
welcome back. Oh, you.
Happens. Don't want to step on each other's toes. But ladies and gentlemen, yes, welcome back to the Global Esports Academy Fight Night. Speaking of stepping on each other's toes, G Academy have been stopped on and they have been pushed out of this tournament. So the grand finals will now take place between Talon Academy and XIPTO Esports, which, by the way, is a rematch.
Yeah, it is absolutely. The last time it was 2-0, 13-11, 13-11, and Talon Academy just about missing out on the little edge that they needed to finish off that game. Even at times where they were in the lead to actually get it done, but XIPTO came in from behind to actually find themselves the momentum to finish off the game, which happened, I think it was mostly on the second map itself. But overall, XIPTO are going to look to finish off this fight night with a clean slate. And you also have Talon now. Maybe they will be feeling the confidence after being Global Esports Academy. But let's have a look at the veto, shall we? Where exactly? Is it going to be similar to the last time? No, this time we've got Icebox coming in, which is a very good relief. We will still have that map in between
of Haven.
but we will also have Sunset. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be an interesting affair between the two, as Icebox is going to be the one that kicks us off.
Yeah, we're heading towards the White Tundra, and while the map might be cold, the feud between these two teams is going to be quite hot. They have banned out Ascent to begin with, followed by a Talon banning split. I do understand the Ascent ban because XIPTO did kind of struggle against them last time, but XIPTO banning out Lotus, now that's not a surprise. Talon Academy have already proven that Lotus is one of their stronger games, and that last time both these teams, when they faced each other, it was a 13-11 with XIPTO just narrowly were able to win. I don't think they want to take that risk again, so they've completely gotten rid of it. Icebox, Haven, and Sunset it is. I kind of want to see Sunset again. It's been a while since I've properly seen this map, and now that the meta has evolved, I want to see how people play this map. Although, that being said, we did speak about Theo being picked up on Sunset and how strong it will be, but none of the teams actually did that. So, yeah, that was slightly disappointing not seeing Theo in Sunset. I hope we get to see it this time. That is, if at all, we get to map number 3.
Well, map 3 will be a while away because we do have Icebox in Haven first. And will XIPTO take a similar stride, finish things off on the map number 2 itself? We'll find out. Icebox is going to come up first, and I've always been an advocate of a Neon on that map, and I don't know if either of these teams are going to pick that up. We haven't seen them played yet, but I'm excited to see what exactly is going to be the pick of agents for these guys. We should be heading into the game real soon, ladies and gentlemen, as we are ready with the players in the lobby. And just anything that you have to say before the map begins, Crips?
I kind of hope that both these teams are as proactive in Icebox as they were in all the other games that we've seen them before. Generally, Icebox can be played in a very defaultish manner. So whenever the defensive side is just holding on to their defaults, it would be quite easy for them to continue doing that and not change a thing. But that accounts for like a slightly stale game. So I hope that they are as aggressive on the defense as well as they were on Lotus.
Okay, very interesting. It's been quite a while since we've seen a Harbor being picked, and it's being picked by both sides for that matter. And it's the exact same comp, which I did not expect. I thought somebody would go in for a Teo here, but no, they seem like they're content with their Sova picks. And having to see an Harbor on both teams is actually very refreshing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Lock-in 2023, where Loud was using the Harbor Viper composition quite a lot. In fact, I think they were the team that popularized the Harbor Viper composition on this map. So, yeah, quite excited to see that in action once again. Although Fnatic would be like, we've dealt with this before. Obviously referring to one of the matches which is still considered the greatest comeback in Valorant history. But this time if Talon Academy beat XIPTO, it wouldn't be the greatest revenge story ever, but it will be some sort of a cool revenge story. So I hope we get to see a little bit of that at the very least. Early op control taken by Talon towards A, but XIPTO Esports, they are heading towards B, and two of the players are stationed on mid, so these guys might come in as a late lurk from under tube.
Well, they've taken initial contact on towards B, and it's the rotation's fully here, by the way. There's 4 members of Talon Academy here, and looks like XIPTO, their flank is going to work perfectly. The split is going to cause trouble. Ja gets one, and there comes Fixie as well. Ja finds 3, and that suddenly left the Jet, who was alone on the A side, by the way. Talon Academy has stacked 4 players on the B side and still got away with just a 1 trade.
Spike planted.
1v4. Odds are heavily stacked against him. And Cole Palmer was absolutely destroying everybody on the Yoru. Has a Jet, the outplay potential severely limited. But he does have a Sheriff. 2 to the body should be enough to net him kills. Ja, the player who's already low on HP, decides to use himself as bait, and Haram Peak fights on the back of that. Great way for XIPTO to win the first round.
XIPTO feeling the confidence already as soon as they come onto the pitch to play here. They do have an Outlaw already chained as well on the attack. Not something you see. No, never mind. He's picked up the Vandal now. Fixie. And once again, towards that B side they go. A split seemingly likely with a late lurk from Hot Sauce. A possibility. As got Fixie instantly going up for a jump peak. The wall's going to prevent a little. Nah. Levin's going to be definitely found here. And he's forced to get away. That's an amazing recon that he just chose not to break, even though he knows usually where it comes from.
This is going to be another contact peak and burst towards B. Levin's ready for it. Yeah, that's what happens when you shift walk peek him. Ready with the Sheriff for another one as well. He strikes back and the spikes on the ground. A shot that could have nearly killed him, but Hot Sauce comes in for the rescue. A little labored, but Cole Palmer does the job.
Spike planted.
This, even if Cole Palmer loses, is going to be a good enough eco round for Talon Academy.
Yeah, and if he's able to manage to actually get one here as well, it's still going to be amazing. Because there's a Vandal drop right there, but I'm not sure why they aren't picking it up just yet. Long range, one shot, simple and easily done. There's a Vandal, yeah, there we go, picks it up. And that should be another round for XIPTO. A little on the lower end in terms of money being reinvested into it, but 2 Vandals taken forward, which is going to force the rest of them to also buy up Vandals, most likely, if not Guardians around it, so that they have an even fighting ground against their opponents. And it seems like that Talon Academy wants to go on a bit of a mid-hunting spree. They've got 3 players here. The Sova's going to give him the recon. The Jet's going to fly down the tube as Hot Sauce going to keep them busy with that Hyper Orb, which will be detracted instantly as the drone clears out some space. The turret's been turned off, and back it comes on as Hot Sauce now in a bit of a hot zone.
Oh my god, Cole Palmer. Ready once again and escapes just in the nick of time. And Surf, by jumping across, has seen many more people ready to fight this out again. Cole Palmer repositioned himself towards Boiler. Ready for the second strike. 2 kills by this young lad. And he set his team up for a lovely advantage as they head in towards the A site. This time with far less utility to help them out. They still got the Harbor High Tides available, so they can lock out certain people from the site. Shocked out to take any killjoy util that might be present, but not all the nanoswarms have been accounted for. And Cole Palmer watching the crossing. Harampi does get the kill onto Snappy, but Cole Palmer is still available and ready for the striking. I'm surprised Eman did not use the probe to plant, instead uses it later just to protect himself and get away. I thought he would get away. He's not. He's trying here. He overstays his welcome, and Levin punishes them appropriately.
Ball drops, and nothing much that Pixie could do there. Did not expect him to sit in that corner. Levin is going to get his final frag. A good round here from Talon Academy, just to make sure that nothing too much being lost. Cole Palmer again being the hero of it, getting the first 2 kills and then a third to follow it up as well, and being the only casualty from the round. Now the real game begins as XIPTO have a full buy on their hands. I'm not sure if it's actually a full buy. They did reinvest into that previous round, so maybe a couple of them might not have as much armor on them as you would think. We'll find out. Cole Palmer now aggressive on that A main front. Gonna actually get away in towards the nest. Finds one, dashes away, and that is an absolutely clean kill there. Clean kill and getaway.
And he's been getting away since the previous round as well. He continues doing that. Teletubbies discovers that he can't pull off the same shenanigans as Cole Palmer, so he promptly drops back down. This drone should be able to spot Bismillah Peak. No, it doesn't. And this could be a nasty surprise. He catches him off guard. Self taken down. At least Teletubbies brings it back to some extent, and Haram Peak is still deadly. Still on the prowl.
One enemy remaining.
And he's just going on a killing spree right now. Somebody stop this man. He's basically won this round all by himself.
Yeah. 3-1. XIPTO confidence is of no shots at lie here. They're just running it down. Even though they lost their first member, it was so quick and clean. Cole Palmer got away there. But then the fact that they didn't expect Bismillah Peak to come up so close, he found such a great timing, and then the rest was just on Fixie, running around, killing people for fun almost. As XIPTO will now build up to a Killjoy lockdown as well, which of course very useful in this early stage of the game. Just 4 rounds in, just gonna be able to secure a round very well here. Teletubbies slowed down because of the wall, manages to still run away from there. But the advantage very clearly in the hands of XIPTO, with the weaponry of course being much more louder than the ones that are in the hands of Talon Academy. Killjoy lockdown, forcing them to get back, and no real utility being used. Teletubbies does enable himself with that AWP pickup to have the Reckoning. But will it be utilized is a question, because he's playing around with fire here. The recons go, just still good for 1. And that's a Vandal being given to them, but it's a little far away. Surf gets 1. The trades are coming in. The pinstripe kill feed here. Eman gets 1 back. He's playing for the team, and Bismillah comes in at the right time. And Cole Palmer forced to save the op.
Man, they completely disrespect the Reckoning. They continued staying inside that Reckoning, and they just moved around, dodged all the stuns.
They knew it was coming.
And yeah, I mean, to some extent, I might even say that the Reckoning made them a tad bit more unpredictable in terms of the positioning where they pick up all these fights. Like, you wouldn't expect someone rushing in your face that close while dodging all the recons and the stuns to actually win those battles. Plus, you wouldn't even pre-fire in that kind of a spot, so Talon's crosshair positioning is already thrown off guard.
Yeah, Jar just jumped up, gets 1, and then the rest of them just running around under sight. I feel like that Reckoning was a little, kind of out of place in that round, especially because it was an eco. Because the Reckoning, the point is that you're able to you need to be precise with the pistols. You don't have to be that precise with the Vandals and Phantoms, because you can spray them down as well, right? And that's where the Reckoning kind of helps you out, because they'll start running. You should be able to do it, but yeah, well, they've gone for the decision now. Cole Palmer, aggressive much, but not going to find anything. In fact, actually, his life's given away, and this time around, he's not allowed to escape.
Finally, he's been put to rest. He has been getting away with 1 too many murders. But it's about time to shut him down.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the bait and switch. I did not think they knew about Teletubbies, but he gets the trade nonetheless. Still, Talon at a disadvantage. Now it's time to defend B. The harbor wall. Got Snappy, and he's alone now. No trade on him.
Well, Fixie's got a bit of an opening, and he could go for a repeat here. Lee Win. The wall, another wall, 2 walls coming his way, and he just walks into Fixie's crosshair. Almost too easy that. Teletubbies alone left, has to retreat away, save this Vandal, throws in a wall for just to confuse his opponents. But no, Fixie clears it out. That's fully open and out for the taken. Number 5 here for XIPTO, as Talon Academy, after that one round that they got, which was pretty decent, instantly now not able to control the aggression and the just sheer brute force of XIPTO.
Yeah, finally, Cole Palmer was shut down, and it was about time they did that. But even after securing that advantage, Talon just cannot win the round. With that, Palmer has been forced. XIPTO Esports have been doing a very good job of picking up fights against Talon that they least expected.
Well, this is going to be a difficult timeout for them. They're going to have to decide whether or not they want to go on the front foot anymore. Do they want to keep sending Cole Palmer with the AWP up front? Or do they want to take A main control as a trio, force them to go towards B? It has not worked. Even when that happened, XIPTO managed to get away with 2 kills and still go ahead to B and take control there. So the approach has to change. What can they do differently? Force them from B to force onto A, because A is a lot more fortressable than B. B is a far more wide open site and fewer angles to worry about, especially when you're holding on to that B main side. But A, you've got so many nooks and corners. It could be useful operation, but no, it seems like they're going to send them the other way itself. It is going to be A pushing once again.
Revealing area.
Quite a slow start to this round, 10 seconds, and apart from utility exchanges, nothing else has been done yet. I do believe that XIPTO Esports are expecting Talon Academy to change up quite a lot of things, so that's why they're taking it very slowly. They throw out some early utility towards A, but then after that, they are just going to walk in towards B. Use the cascade to deny information, and then the drone to clear out all the closer angles. Yep. This lane's clear. Now time to clear out yellow, which I think can be done with a recon dart again. If it's available. Oh, never mind. They go in directly for the reckoning. They don't even bother clearing out the rest of the site. They just go dive all the way into its snowman. Now, this is a very nice position to hold things from. This will make the retake quite difficult.
Yeah, but they still don't know where the Jet is. He's able to get one hot sauce. Will find another as well. The Killjoy ultimate's going to force them off the side. This ground finds 3. And now it's a Killjoy versus Killjoy battle. And Snappy's got no idea where Shah is. 6 on the board, and that was a bit of a doozy of a round, especially Hot Sauce, with the fact that he just stood and took 2 while both of them are in front of his face, by the way.
Lockdown doesn't really do much for Talon Academy. And yes, there was a point where I thought Talon Academy might win because they got the first 2 duels in their favor. The Guardian started to sing for them. But XIPTO Esports just played well objectively. And Cole Palmer this time, there's a cascade to help him climb up all the way to its belt. Teletubbies gets the orb. He goes right through that. The brainstorm actually helps him. I thought there might have been some more supportive utility to help him peak with that, but nope, he just goes in dry and it still works.
Well, a double fake it seems to be on the cards here, but there's only one player holding this A side. Cole Palmer, the Blades of Destiny, and they keep on shining. He's gotten another and he's gonna look for a triple. We'll find it. Cole Palmer with the ace. Can he hold on to the side all by himself?
Player standing.
We've seen it done before. Not too often, but it has been a story that's told of all Jets, and he's gotten a fourth. He stands alone and finds 4. And the support that even comes just chips in for a little bit. But this has to be everything Cole Palmer.
What a round, man. Manufacturing all these gaps, and it's not like XIPTO Esports were not prepared for him to peak. It's not like XIPTO Esports had problems with spacing. There were, on many occasions, more than 2 people on Cole Palmer's screen. He could have very easily been traded. But he is fast. He kept away. Doesn't overtake. Taking the orb, plus there's another cascade exchanged. Both the harbors throwing up their cascades simultaneously. Levin, on the other hand, has managed to get a pick on mid, and that was a very deep positioning by Ja.
Oh,
they know that there's one more player. They didn't also know that Viper is in kitchen already.
I'm not sure. I think that not the alarm box, forgive me. The turret actually kind of spotted them out. They still expect it to be there. Snappy's holding down that lower angle. This is an opportunity for actually the Viper to start playing with their minds. As long as he stays alive in that mid region, it's a possibility that they can get away with a lot of things here. Hot sauce. If he goes in deeper, he actually could find so much value. But he's just going to continuously play with their heads.
Right there.
Teletubbies has got no idea. Has he crossed into kitchen? Is he behind the killjoy? So many question marks. But all of it will be answered as soon as that alarm bot gets triggered in mid, because in B main, because that's exactly where their attention is going to start moving. And Hot Sauce breaks that turret, gets back in the tube, and he's been spotted. White swing, not good enough though.
Oh, he's gonna have to force the issue over here. Snappy is holding on. He knows there's a very little time, so all he needs to do is deny the plant, and they do something much, much better. They win all their gunfights. And Talon Academy, by virtue of winning this round and keeping 4 of their players alive, will finally start to see some income in their banks. They can finally recover their economy and afford to purchase weapons in the next round, even if they lose this one. And they haven't enjoyed this level of financial stability in the entire half, so this is definitely a breath of fresh air for them.
Well, 6-3, it's very, very recoverable here. They can make it 6-6, and that would be an amazing, amazing comeback, considering that they were 6-1 down. So, holding a very, very obscure angle, but something that usually works out only for a one and done. Cole Palmer able to find one, and it's the same kill as he got a couple of rounds earlier. Ja, and he gets away with it. Surf drops down, finds one, makes it easier. Teletubbies as well. They're gonna run in. The Stinger's gonna find at least one piece of value, but nothing more. Hot Sauce on a flank on him already. Spikes in no man land. He needs to go across and grab it. Gets one. Causing a bit of trouble on the second. Does he expect the flank? He does, but it's a little too late. Snappy ready for it. 6-4. And this already feels like so much better from Talon Academy than the first 7 rounds that they played.
Yeah, it seems like all of a sudden Talon Academy have just come alive. That one tactical timeout did not give them instant results, but hey, the compounding effect on it is clearly palpable over here. 2 big ultimates available once again in the hands of Levin and Surf. The exact same ultimates also available on the other side, with both the lockdowns just 1 and 2 points away respectively.
Cole Palmer once again with the op now, forced to be a little bit passive, but no, he disrespects that, goes in a little more forward, finds the perfect timing, dashes away as well. smokes himself off and gets back to safety. Snappy holding down the side, gonna allow the plant to go through, but he's got a Hunter's Fury that could help him play along with the chaos here. But the plant's gone down either way. Cove gonna help them out. A Viper Spit to maneuver through here as well. As XIPTO have a stronghold on this round, especially because they have a Hunter's Fury of their own.
Yeah, the Hunter's Fury is an insurance policy. They probably don't even want to use it right away. The first order of business will be to defend this Viper Spit just with their bodies. There's a counter Viper Spit by Talon Academy. And then response to that, there's a lockdown thrown in. But wait, the diffuse is being stuck. Levin finally has been taken up the spike. The shock dart gets the better of him. But now Teletubbies in his scope. He's just going to stick it.
Oh,
He's going to stick everything, but he gets detained in the end.
I commend the effort, thinking that maybe before he could get detained, he might be able to defuse a spike. Unfortunately, it takes a little bit longer to defuse a spike than 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds actually. And that was the timer left on the Killjoy lockdown. That was a really good measure from Ja to make sure that they do not step in any closer and don't even get the spike. And the fact that the Viper Spit made it even more difficult for them. It was a worst case scenario, but it worked out because 2 ultimates and they find the advantage while going into the second half. I'd say worth it because they still have 2 more to work around this round with.
Yeah, I mean, they had the Hunter's Fury in the previous round as well. That could have been an insurance policy. But then Ja gets a double kill and he's like, yeah, let's go. I have a lockdown now. And he uses it right away. Doesn't save it for anything. XIPTO Esports throw in their drone, and in response, Talon Academy have rotated 3 of their players over there. What? Cole Palmer, that's a very uncharacteristic miss. And Hot Sauce has secured the advantage already. Ah, Snappy brings it back. Takes care of Ja, so that's the mid lurker taken care of. But the turret and everything is still active, so they can continue focusing over here and leave mid up to the gadgets of Killjoy. Defender Killjoy lockdown. I do believe that's a little too early, but it's gonna bait out the Hunter's Fury from XIPTO nonetheless. And the Reckoning as well. And even with both the ultimates active, XIPTO have not been able to fully plant just yet. Talon Academy throw a Reckoning of their own. And that will really stun up Eman, but he still gets a kill, even though he's fully stunned up. Manages to fall back as well. That's very, very bold. Great shot by Bismillah Peak. It's all up to Teletubbies now. Takes out the tap. Knows they're both playing in different spots, so trading is very, very easy for XIPTO. Teletubbies just has to focus on way too many angles at once.
Yeah, really well done. Knowing that he's not on the spike and not over challenging it, just playing on the back of Shock Dart, and then the minute you know he's off it, let him come closer to you. Let him come as close as possible. Do not let him stay near the spike where he can get away to safety. Come closer, and the minute he does, that's when you swing out 1 by 1 and take him out. Well done there. 8 and 4. XIPTO, make sure to at least leave some pressure on Talon Academy before the half ends. It was 6 and 1 at a point, and it could have been, in my opinion, with the way things were looking, it could have been a 10-2 half almost. But Talon Academy at least save some face here. Managed to put up 4. Now on the attack, what can they conjure up? Similar approach with that mid, of course, but are they gonna actually take any form of kills? Because look at where the Killjoy is sitting. Snappy is in spawn with a Sheriff, and I don't think he's going to be given the opportunity of a challenge here, as the defense is just holding on to make sure that no re-pressures coming in. Ja takes a bunch of shots, gets back, throwing as many bullets as he can, hoping that one of them connects, but none of them do, as he eats a bullet himself, and the plant's gone down.
5v5 retake. This is gonna be a chaotic mess as XIPTO dive in. Just spotted out Teletubbies up closer, trying to spam him down. But oh my god, he goes ahead and takes the matters into his own hands. There was no way that Haram Peak was ready for that. Talon Academy. Lovely use of the corners, and the moment XIPTO decided to dive inside, Talon Academy push in even further. They basically take away the space that XIPTO need to set themselves up.
5. Great pistol round allows them to get up a little bit closer. Inch in. A likely 8 and 6 here, possibility. But once again, a bit of a stack on that A side for the side of XIPTO. The orb successfully retrieved. Emin's going to get away with it. His own wall allows him to do so. And Cole Palmer not too keen on crossing that. He's completely okay with giving it up. Ja and Hot Sauce just making sure that nothing fishy happening towards B. But they've got complete control, so they know that this has to be a hit. Now the remaining 3 players, it's on them. How they try and work this out.
I'm getting very nervous looking at all these aggressive positioning by XIPTO players, but Talon are ready to fight them at every step of the way. Yeah, they leave nothing to chance, man. 3 early kills. No firepower on XIPTO. Very weak weapons. So, yeah, naturally they won't get any kills. And just like that, this should be a rather clean round for Talon Academy. Snappy also managing to find some leeway in towards Boiler, but he's been taken care of.
Last player standing.
You know what I've noticed? Every time someone tries to walk in from mid to A, like via Boiler or something, they almost never succeed. I mean, we saw this in the first half as well with XIPTO trying it. Did not work for them. Now Talon tried, doesn't work for them either.
Yeah, I agree. I think it has been a pattern that it's just not going to work for anybody unless somebody breaks it out. We'll see in the upcoming rounds if somebody tries something different. But right now it's a buy round for the side of XIPTO. They did drop 2 weapons in the previous round from Talon Academy, so consider it a decent eco for them. 3 Guardians, 1 Bulldog, and that's about it. Serve's going to be playing on a Ghost at best. It's going to be a difficult round for Talon Academy to kind of win. No utility surge here from the side of the attack. The only thing they do is break the recon from the attack, from the defense, forgive me. As Talon are okay with just playing contact here.
Yeah, it's working for them, so why not? Once again, Cole Palmer strikes first. This time he's got Teletubbies along with him to go for the trades. And it's a pinstripe of trades indeed. Even XIPTO are ready. The Jet and Harbor on either side, ready for battle. It's not just the similar agent composition, but also who's going in to trade behind the first person. Even that is mirrored. Cascades exchange on either side, but Talon Academy are already out of here. And now they're sending in Snappy as a lurker via mid. There's not much Killjoy utility over here. He can actually sneak past undetected. Now XIPTO Esports acting, realizing that there is a gap. You can see the pings on the minimap. XIPTO places a alarm bot towards Boiler, but the ship has sailed.
30 seconds
Hot Sauce can't play yellow. He's playing all the way towards Snow, and because he expected someone to come in from mid, and even though XIPTO leave a gap in their defense, they account for it. That's very smart.
Last player standing.
Yeah, nothing getting through Ja here. He's going to just hold on and take the one. And then the other as well as soon as he tries to go for a plant or even fakes it. 9 on the board. XIPTO. Strong buy round here. It did start off well for Talon Academy. Unfortunately, the trades were well timed from them.
30 seconds left.
And Hot Sauce expecting that little kitchen push. Playing at such an off angle on Snowman. Making sure that the number advantage continues to stay on their hands. There is a reckoning available for Talon Academy, by the way, into 3 rounds into the second half, which is a very useful tool. And once again, they're going to play very passive outside of A and then go for the contact as soon as that recon expires itself.
Nothing so far. This time it's Surf actually going in for the first peek via belt and not the Jet. Interesting. They're all just gonna go for like a double triple peek at the same time. Nope. Surf goes in first, dies. And Haram Peak has repositioned the cascade, allowing him to get closer towards Bend. Well, Palmer might just try to jump off top of pipes. Oh my god, that was very, very risky. He still pulls it off. Giant Open they also come up with 2 kills of their own. And XIPTO Esports spring the trap.
Yeah, Lewin's most definitely gone here. He cannot even expect that off angle. 6 and 10. XIPTO feeling the confidence after winning 2 rounds in a row now. And the money for Talon Academy is going to be in the bits. Fixie, great shot there. And then the second one to follow it up as well. While he's got the support of Emin around him and Ja. Really, really well done. That reckoning could have been very useful for them in that round. Talon Academy, they're playing on contact once again, but these contact plays, they're usually a 50-50. And so the number of times it goes 50 your way, it could go the other way as well.
Out of my way.
And now the defense has a reckoning themselves. Finally, a bit of aggression being shown here. Recon in the air, but what a shot! Emin absolutely destroyed. As Cole Palmer is a magician with these knives every time he's had him on.
Spike planted.
Yeah, even a magician can't pull out rabbits out of the hats like he does so often. And I say that, forget about the hat, his head's been taken off. Nice way for Teletubbies to recover that round, and Talon Academy have not just secured the man advantage but also managed to fall back behind 4-10. Nobody else is on site. Snappy coming in as a late lurker from mid puts additional pressure. Now XIPTO have to be aware about their backlines as well. Plus they're kind of in a hurry to clear out the front because the spike is sticking and there's absolutely nothing that they can do. The recon was perfect. Teletubbies gets another second kill free because of that.
Well, Talon Academy do really well, all thanks. First of all, that first pick from Cole Palmer really well. And then Teletubbies doubling up, tripling up rather. While, of course, you had Surf do really well in the previous series. It's kind of fallen off here, but his team's helping him out. It's still 3 rounds away though. So managing to fight this one out is going to give them quite the advantage. Oh my god. Game close, but nothing found. Again, the orb farming for XIPTO has been practically for free on that A side, by the way. And they can even do that on B because they've been playing the exact same setup. 4+1. One watching mid, hold off on B outside with the alarm bot, and 4 on towards A. They've not changed anything. They've not even tried taking B so far. Unless it was a forceful push, which was in that bonus round, of course.
But after that first contact and, you know, after the first couple of blades were exchanged, nothing else from either side actually. I can understand XIPTO playing it slow, but even Talon Academy are taking their sweet time.
Take flight.
They've left Cole Palmer on a belt. And on the other end, they're sending in the drones. So they're trying to show presence on both sides of the map at the same time. Cole Palmer dives in, dodges the recon dart, but
30 seconds
he's
left.
treading in dangerous territory here. Using the Viper wall as cover for the time being. Snappy, he opens things up on mid. Now it's due for Cole Palmer to continue ensuing even more chaos, sowing the seeds of doubt in their minds as both the sides are being attacked simultaneously. Cole Palmer's been killed, but the spike has already gone down on B. Lovely
he gets another tag
That's
as
one
well.
way. Yeah, that's a lovely way to bring the numbers advantage back.
Wait, I don't think he got the tag. No, he didn't. I thought he got the tag onto Snappy. It didn't really reach him. And now the two players of Talon Academy are so far apart from each other. He dodges this, but he's ready for it. Emin, really well done to anticipate that kitchen push. Now they know where the final member is here as well. Recon wheels him out there. So much pressure on him. And there's nothing he can do. Hot sauce. Stuns him out, takes him out.
Dying here would be
11-7, and that was a wonderful round from XIPTO. Ja finding 1 on that B main was more than enough, but that anticipation of making sure that Sova ultimate catches off the plant. I thought it was going to be late, you know, because he was almost done planting. But even after that, the tag came through and he confirmed that kill at that range, which you don't see it happen often.
Exactly. And if it wasn't for the Hunter's Fury, this would have been a fair 3v3 retake where Talon Academy don't exactly have any sort of a disadvantage.
They would have had a reckoning
right now
as well.
Yeah, and they would have had the reckoning as well. Yes, on top of that. I mean, on behalf of Talon Academy, I would say they did not make many mistakes because they simultaneously approached both the sides, and Cole Palmer did a very good job of keeping 3 XIPTO members stationed towards the A site. So technically, he did his job. He sold the fake really well. And XIPTO were not anywhere close to stop the plant. If it wasn't for the Hunter's Fury, Talon Academy would have been able to take much better post-plant positions as well and set up like crossfires to welcome XIPTO Esports as they walk into the retake.
Well, are they going to use that Reckoning now to take that A-side control, or is it going to be another round where they just forego this ultimate that is really powerful to cover up the entire side? Because so far, they've had it for about 4 rounds now, Crips. They haven't used it. And now with the AWP coming out in front, a little bit of support. Does not get detected though. Wall's not good enough to kind of give them any sort of avenue. And out he goes, finds one, gets away, smokes himself off, and Bismillah gets one as well. Both the peekers on this team of XIPTO find one each, and that already puts them a step forward to match point.
Oh, Snappy, no. Could have been a game changer. Going in by mid, by himself. He could have created an opportunity for Talon Academy to come in and plant, but that opportunity has gone. That ship has sailed, and XIPTO Esports get a flawless round.
Match point.
Talon Academy reeling from this loss, watching their opponent get to map point. There's not much that they can do now.
I'm still not able to understand why they willingly give up the A main orb control every single round without breaking the without breaking the recon that comes from the other side. Not trying to pressure the fact that they can throw in that, you know, that Viper, Molly and Shock Dart combo that usually comes in. Because how many rounds in a row now have they've taken the orb? 5, 6 rounds in a row?
Yeah, I mean, XIPTO haven't really been contested here, you know.
I suggest you move.
Yeah, the exchange cascades. Oh, okay, hold on now. That's a very early commitment of the Reckoning, which is completely disrespected by Harampi. He gets a frag and he gets away. That's completely okay. But take a look at the minimap. Talon Academy, while they are trying to tap the spike on A, 2 of the members are heading towards B. This might just be a little too over-ambitious. XIPTO, no. This is clear indication. They are fully aware about what's happening over here.
Yeah.
Now, this will make Talon Academy reconsider their plans. Like, they had the plant on A. Do we continue going here? Are XIPTO aware about our presence on B?
Well, it seems like now they are. The turret's going to be situated on mid, which is going to give Ja the avenue to start rotating on towards back aside. But Lewin's ready for it. And it seems like that fake has worked out perfectly. Although, there is a flank coming in already. The Killjoy is far too gone for him to actually have any utility there. And this Viper's Pit is only going to make them focus on being on site even more. The Sova's going to have a battle against his counter self on that team inside, while the rest of the team from XIPTO now will try to kind of scour this Viper's Pit.
Oh, one player playing outside the pit on top has been taken care of. That's Snappy out. Surf has to make sure that he holds back Bismillah from there, and yeah, the backstab has been taken care of. He turns around to shoot hot stars as well. Great recovery from Talon Esports. Even without the Viper's Pit, they are able to win their gunfight, win their duels. Oh, Eman!
Wow,
okay, now that was scary.
Close.
Yeah. So,
they almost lined up as well.
Yeah, flick at the wrist and just a lovely double kill through the Viper's Pit without even seeing his opponents.
Well, they find an 8th, but again, I like the idea of tapping the spike to get away and find, you know, the information on the B side to get themselves a very solid round. But they dropped too many members. They're going out of the Viper's Pit. Should have had at least 3 alive. Economy is not going to be that great for them. You see here, a Guardian on half armor as well on Teletubbies. It's going to be difficult. They've heard the AWP on A, I believe. So they know that B side's going to be a little bit more vulnerable. But Ja's been a solid rock here by himself.
And that's an immovable rock. Except for the time he gets one tap in the head, but we don't talk about that. Talon Academy are not exactly keeping their presence on B a secret. I mean, they're openly taking orbs, and clearly XIPTO Esports can also hear this. But their presence on A, that's been masked up. Livin decides to take a surprise fight against Bismillah with the snake bite in his hand. That is questionable, but Snappy gets them both. So A side has been opened up if they so desire. But the spike that was dropped on B, and it's now since been recovered. Iman knows that the A side has been lost, so he's gonna try to intercept them rotating towards A, hopefully catch the spike carrier in transition, but Surf is aware about it.
Yo, that is disgusting. Yeah, and look at where the Killjoy is sitting. Look at where Snappy's sitting. Yeah, no way you expect him in your spawn. 9 to 12 here, and Talon Academy slowly creeping back into this. XIPTO gonna have a forced timeout just to make sure that this doesn't go out of their hands, because this is their game to lose right now, and the coach is going to make sure that they listen to his instructions so that that doesn't happen exactly that way.
Tactical timeout by XIPTO. They don't want to drag this any further. And you could see that even in the previous round where they lost, XIPTO Esports had the right read on Talon. They knew exactly what Talon were up to. They just got shot in their heads, and that's why they lost the round. But XIPTO have been reading Talon phenomenally. Even though Talon are trying their level best to take control of both sides of the map at the same time, and sell a fake one on one end and clear out your other side on the same time, like, it's difficult for them to actually sell the fake because XIPTO are just always a step ahead. Even without spotting them, even with no recon or no utility, they preemptively activate the nanoswarms, and that kind of puts Talon in two minds about whether or not they're actually making their fakes work.
Well, the idea now is to just draw as many weapons down as possible, because even Talon's economy is not really that great. They have a buy for the next round even if they lose, yes, but it's not going to be the best of them. Oh wait, never mind. If they lose, they're actually going to lose the game. Never mind. Lol. I just realized that. Oh, here he goes. Oh no way. Oh my god, Ja, what have you done?
That is straight up cold-blooded murder, man. Who would expect a Bucky to work in Icebox of all maps? Let alone in the hands of a Killjoy. Leave it. Lovely way to recover. But can you do any more? The snake bite will hold them at bay just for the time being. But no, you get caught off guard with a knife in hand. Now Teletubbies has a nearly impossible task to deny the defuse, and it's not even planted in his favor.
Not like this. Not like... I just said it. Even if they lose, they're gonna have a bad economy, and I didn't realize if they lose, they're gonna be in the next map. 13 to 9, and wow, XIPTO find a round on the back of Ja's jumping Bucky shenanigans. I mean, he was holding a shorty in the previous one of the eco rounds as well, where he wasn't challenged. But the one round they go to B and Ja's got that Bucky. The minute he heard that drone, he's like, yeah, this is mine to take. Jumps in. And the Killjoy at that same moment, by the way, was looking towards A for a second. It was the A opening.
Yeah, the timing is just impeccable, man. He really knows how to make his opponents just scratch their heads for a second. And every time they die, they would be like, yeah, this was an avoidable death. How did we lose to that? So, yeah, great stuff by all of XIPTO Esports. The reads were lovely all through and through. That being said, though, Talon Esports were hitting some really sharp shots. Like, every single time they were able to win their rounds, it was on the back of the heavy firepower.
Yeah, they did have some pretty great moments. Some of the rounds that, in the beginning, it wasn't as good. 6 and 1 down. It seemed like this game could end as quickly as possible. But then they started coming back, having a little bit of a workaround. And they did so much to just kind of get back into the game. And I really believe that Talon Academy had a good amount of understanding of how they could have played this game. But unfortunately, I think the number of contact plays that they tried towards A with that 4-1 split, some of them just weren't as good as you would think, because every time that orb was given up, it was just that much control that Xipto would very freely take, build up to an ultimate that caused you trouble. That Hunter's Fury, that Reckoning, those two were the main ones, because those two were the ones who were playing with the Jet on A side, right? Teletubbies, not Teletubbies, forgive me. Emin and Bismillah got multiple ultimates just because of those orbs being given away for free on that A main side.
Yeah, and while they were farming their ultimates quite quickly, every single time Talon used their reckoning, it seemed like Xipto were just disrespecting it all through and through. They would push you in your faces, and those are spots where you wouldn't naturally pre-aim. So XIPTO Esports never had a disadvantage in those kind of fights. Like Talon were always forced to fight against people who are just swinging them wide with no care in the world, and they're just dodging. The XIPTO players were busy dodging the reckoning stuns, and in the process of doing so, their footwork became just so good that Talon was just not able to keep up with them, man.
Absolutely. Well, Talon Academy, you've got another map to prove yourselves, and this is the one that you picked as well. Haven is what they have chosen to be their best fighting ground against this XIPTO side. And yes, they did have a pretty strong showing, but is it going to be the same against XIPTO, who've already been very strong overall across any map that we've seen so far? XIPTO themselves have played Haven against Global Esports, and they had a very decent showing themselves as well. So this is going to be a bout which I feel like this will be a lot more closer than Icebox. I feel like this might be a 13-11.
Yeah, 13-11 could be a possibility. I mean, both these teams have been going toe for toe. One team has the better reach, the other one has the better firepower, and at the end of the day, it's about which of these two teams put them both together to get the advantage.
Absolutely.
And while on Icebox, XIPTO Esports might have been able to read Talon quite well, on Haven, things might get a little dicey because Talon has a much deeper playbook on Haven. We saw how in the last time these two teams faced each other, Talon had plenty of strats to throw at them, but by the end of the first half itself, they had run through almost every single variation of their stats, and then they had to start cooking up stuff on the fly. So whatever strategy either corner had cooked up was thrown down the drain, and then both of them had to think on their feet. Those are the kind of games I love casting the most.
Yeah, well, we'll find out if this is going to be one of those times as well. Is there going to be a bit of I was going to say mechanical warfare, but that's been there around. Is there going to be a little bit of more brain warfare? We're going to have to find out in just a couple of minutes, as both the teams are going to get ready for what could be the final map, or could be the setup to a very good sunset as well. We'll find out. Crips, what do you think needs to be changed from Talon Academy's side? What do you think? Should they improve their aggression a little bit more, fight for spaces on the map? Because they didn't do as much of that on Icebox and focused on the A side so much, even though they gave up the control. And then eventually, when the one time they went B, they got smothered out. What do you think needs to be changed on this map of Haven?
You pointed out that they weren't taking that much map control. They were giving away XIPTO quite a lot of space, giving away quite a lot of ultops to them. So I think you pointed out a part of the solution in the question itself. They were not being aggressive enough. They were not being proactive enough. But then again, on Icebox, it might not be possible. On Haven, creating those trap plays is very, very effective. And Talon have shown us that they're pretty good at it. Like, I remember seeing Talon versus G Academy, and every time G Academy would even set foot inside the garage area, there would be stuns and paranoias ready to be thrown at G Academy, and that would net Talon Academy at least a couple of kills. So they can do that same thing against XIPTO Esports as well, right?
Absolutely,
if
they can
start doing that, XIPTO Esports will now be forced to bait out the utility from Talon, which they haven't really been doing so far. They do not need to do it in Icebox. So that would force XIPTO Esports also to add another layer into their aggression. One fake layer of aggression to draw the utility, bait out the utility from Talon, and then another one to actually go in and commit to the site. So yeah, both of these things will probably help Talon Academy send us into the third map.
Well, we're going to find out. We are just awaiting on confirmation as to how long it will take for us to start. It should not take too long, as we will be heading into Haven. The composition, is it going to be changed from XIPTO this time around? Are they going to continue with the same thing that they had put into use against the side of Global Esports Academy? We will find out. But what do you think about that Breach Teho comp that, uh, on Haven? Because you do see that it offers you a lot of control, but we've seen that these teams have been pretty comfortable with the Sova being there in place as well.
I think for a team like XIPTO, the SOA is better because you're trying to fight against Talon who love exploring both sides of the map simultaneously. They did this in Icebox. They will definitely do it in Haven as well. So considering you're fighting a team that loves spreading out and gathering more map control on either side, I think XIPTO is better off with the SOA this time. But that is only because they're facing Talon Esports, right? If they were facing any other team, the Breach and the Theo composition would have been quite nice. It offers you a more brute force approach. So if let's say if a team wants to go for one of those contact play and keep your presence masked up until the moment you need to burst out, if you're going for that kind of a playstyle, the Breach Theo composition is excellent. But then again, you will need to use your smokes to gain control of the map and sneak in as quickly as possible without giving away your position. Once you're there, once you're at the edge of the choke point and you are ready to burst out, then you send in your fault line, your missiles, and your special deliveries and everything else. So yeah, I mean, both of those playstyles have their place in the meta. But since Talon are going for more of a spread out default kind of approach, I think a Sova will be better pick for
I'm
XIPTO
just having a
Esports.
quick look at what they did on Haven as well the last time they played XIPTO. As I think, on Haven they did have the default comp of Breach, Sova, Jet, Cypher, and Omen. So they went for the 2021 comp.
Yeah, standard.
Yeah, it is a very effective comp because you have a good mix of information as well. The Cypher's, of course, as powerful as on this map, and not to mention that the Breach gives the Jet so much space to sit upon. So it is a lot to work around. Is the Neon going to be able to break that? Is the question now, because we love to see the side of Talon Academy bring out their Neon. It's very powerful as well, and Cole Palmer's been pretty great with it.
Yeah,
on top of
man,
that.
he's been excellent. In fact, for this map alone, I think Cole Palmer should just stay away from the Jet. He can do so much more with the Neon. The fast lane adds another layer into the executes, and he can just go dive deep inside. Take a look at the highlights from their previous game as well when XIPTO was facing Global Esports Academy, and over here you can clearly see how having the standard composition really lets XIPTO have a lot of flexibility, because they did not let GE have a single round in their second half. On the defense, GE was able to do absolutely nothing in Haven, and that's a scary, scary attack side to have, especially when you're using an old composition.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, considering that you also have, usually see the fact that if the momentum starts building up, it doesn't matter what they have on hand. They're able to kind of just push through and take these fights. They start pushing out a garage. We saw that from XIPTO as well, right? Where the minute they were 6-1 up, they started getting a little complacent. They started taking individual fights. They started doing a little bit more of individuality stuff more than what they were doing in those first 7 rounds. And it is going to be a task for them to continue keeping that, not break into the overconfidence part, or not break into, the slightly more ballsy part where you feel like, I'm just going to peek them and take them out. So, we'll find out all of it as we head into the Agent Select, ladies and gentlemen. And XIPTO have changed up a little bit as well. They've gone for the Neon themselves.
Oh, very nice. I am actually a much bigger fan of the Neon on Haven now. Of course, the Opping Jet is still a menace, but I do believe that in the hands of Cole Palmer, the Neon can do so much more. He's using the fast lane really well, uses it to manufacture space while diving into the side, while creating escape avenues. Even on defense, he sometimes uses it to just delay the attackers a little bit more so that he can buy time for his teammates to come in and help him with the rotations. So yeah, I am a big fan of the Cole Palmer Neon. I've seen him do the same thing with Yoru as well. But yeah, the Neon in this case might be much better. I think it's going to be a mirror composition yet again.
Yeah,
Pretty
it
standard
most
stuff.
likely is. Yeah.
Cypher, Sova, Breach, Neon, and Omen. Levin hasn't locked it in yet, probably just because he wants to buy a little bit more time so that he can use this agent select time to discuss what the defaults for this map is going to look like. XIPTO did have a nice time against Talon Academy in the previous game of Haven, so they want to change things up here. But how exactly are they going to change things up? I am yet to see that, because we've seen them do all these place variations on Icebox, but we did not really see them vary the pace that much. I never saw them go for brute force executes right off the bat. I mean, even if they executed, it was basically like contact peak, just contact play up until as far as you can, and then go for the burst. We didn't really see them go for full-blown executes the moment the barriers drop.
Yeah. Well, we should be heading into the game, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. As XIPTO on the attack and Talon Academy on the defense will be playing what possibly could be the final map here, as Talon need to stay alive, need to win this to stay alive. It is their map pick, of course, and we have got them playing a bit of an aggressive game the last time we saw them on Haven just a couple of hours ago. And will they repeat the same? It's a question. It seems like it. They're going for that initial A contact with the Breach Stun and Sova Recon, and Cole Palmer to follow it up from A shot as well. But it looks like XIPTO's just going to leave Hot Sauce there just to kind of, keep an eye on that, while the rest of the team try and find out what's happening on the C side of things.
Cole Palmer has been taking these A-shot fights since the start of the day, man. He's done this against G Academy as well. And it worked out really well for him when he was fighting G Academy, partially because they weren't really breaking the recon darts. XIPTO Esports obviously won't make that same mistake. Oh, that's a nice ding to Hot Sauce, already hemorrhaging internally. But Cole Palmer also takes a bunch of damage on the way. So both these players mutually just respect each other and fall back.
Yeah, I really love the fact that as soon as Hot Sauce was taking that damage, 3 players kind of just came out to help him out there. But the control's been conceded here and they're going to have to re-clear it. And XIPTO are doing that with just contacting out of here. Flash comes through, forces Surf off of that A main side. But the rotations have already come in here. 34 HP on that Neon. He's going to have to be careful. Whereas the other one is pretty darn healthy. The stun is really good. He gets away instantly, and this is a complete fake, as look at how far towards that C side have this team gone. Ja delivers a bunch of damage to the opponent. Cypher does not get anything to himself though, as we have a plant going down on C, and Snappy hoping to kind of play on the flank with his teammates.
Whoa. Bismillah fighting with fire here. And he's still keen on engaging at the back of CT. Cole Palmer comes in from garage a little late to the party, but XIPTO are ready for this. They brought down the man advantage back to a 2v1. Ja almost got them both, and Cole Palmer sliding shot onto him in the end.
Well, that was as neon as it could get. Absolutely well done there. Cole Palmer had to clutch it out for his team. The crossfire was good. I don't know why the player who was on C-Long, I'm not sure who it was in the end there, didn't peek out a little earlier when the attention was on Hot Sauce. There was Ja. Yeah, he could have actually peeked out when Hot Sauce was taking all the attention in. Could have gotten both those kills. But, well, XIPTO will have to concede the pistol as they once again turn their attention to that C side. This time probably looking to go there a little bit more quicker. Getting a plant would just be very beneficial for them.
Revealing area.
I'm out of here.
Recon doesn't get anything. One-way smoke as well, just to make sure nobody's peeking out from the back of that CT side.
My camera is destroyed.
How much longer are they gonna default? Baited out quite a lot of utility from Talon Academy already. XIPTO don't have many smokes left, and they're heading into this judge. Yeah, that's that sentence.
Oh my god, the stun was perfect and he gets away. Fixie manages to get away from there while the judge is still standing in that garage position. Eman with the spike could go towards B. He should pivot right now and they should be able to get the plant pretty easily here because Talon are respecting them. They're giving them the control here. And all of this just so that the plant could go down and the flank will be held in place, which will be taken out. That's a bulldog available as well. And XIPTO are slowly but surely making a stronger footprint on this anti-eco round. Eman on contact, stuns out C-Link. It gets both of them. He's just going to deliver a chunk of damage. 1 HP, he's gone. And the flanks come in as well already. There's nothing he can do. Cole Palmer's alone with the judge. He's got a stun in his hand. But against 2 members, what can he do? Nothing is the answer. Haram Peak will take him out. And that is a wonderful recovery almost instantaneously with a reply from XIPTO Esports. Well, that was a round and a half. The flank could have been everything. If Hot Sauce would have been taken out there, this round would have very easily gone the other way. But the fact that he stood his ground with a classic and took down an opponent with a bulldog, pretty crazy stuff. Yeah.
With that, they've given them the weapons and whatever momentum has been taken away. Sheesh.
Cage triggered.
Cole Palmer. He's out for revenge. He's out for blood.
Go, go, go.
Wants to avenge whatever happened to his team in the last round. Do we get another cool deagle shot? Nice stun. That should hit at least 2 people. Snappy using the hyper case to keep himself alive. Meanwhile, Pixie has already reached the site. The judge lets him one more. He's jumping around, ready to help out everyone else as well. Even Reza comes through with a triple. And XIPTO Esports, there was a second over there where I was doubting whether they'll survive that encounter because the stun from Cole Palmer was perfect. But they make it work. And more than that, he's gotten a triple kill which now gives him the Hunter's Fury in the second round itself.
Oh, there's just too many there. The judge expected, takes him out mid-air, clips his wings, and there's nothing that he can do more than that. Hot Sauce takes him out. Bunch of pistols upgraded here as Talon Academy instantly given the reply to, but they do have now a full buy on their hands.
Need a drop.
This is going to be XIPTO trying to play on the aggression once again. They've been successful with it in the first, not in the first round, but in the next 2.
That goes there.
That's an interesting tripwire. I'm going to steal that one.
This goes here.
Nice.
That's actually really good. You don't even notice it. You won't even hear it.
Yeah. Wait. You won't even hear it? Not even if like...
I mean, if you're very close by, you will. But like, how often do you notice that kind of a trip, which is on 2 extremities?
Yeah. Almost never. You won't even...
What the hell just happened?
It's a pinch type of kills, man. Forget the tripwires. This is an invasion onto the seaside, and the invasion has succeeded multifold. Surf gonna go up close against this judge. Of course,
nothing
he's
to be
ready
done
for it.
Yeah, 3 people peeked out towards the seaside, all 3 of them. While 2 of them got the trades indeed, but the third one could not do so because they were fragmented peaks. And this judge continues to be an absolute prick in the side of Talon Academy. They're gonna have to find out how to counter this. They have to isolate that Neon some or the other how. Or else he's just gonna keep getting away. And now he's thrown away the judge, picks up an outlaw because he knows that Talon Academy are gonna be on an eco, a bunch of, and look at that, it's a simultaneous buy across everybody, and they're all gonna be susceptible to just 1 bullet each. And it seems like they're going on a bit of an adventure here.
Aggression. Yeah. I kind of think XIPTO are aware about this one. Talon have done this in the past. Whenever they were on an eco, one thing that they do is they go fight mid. I'm not fully against it, you know. I like this because at least a mid fight shows you what the defaults of XIPTO will look like if you force a battle like this. And then they can use that information in a proper buy round. My only problem over here is even if you have all these aggressive positionings, you do not have the trade potential. And look at how easily XIPTO deal with this aggression.
Well, that was the point for them to kind of just outmaneuver this somehow, but it wasn't aggression, it was just more of a contact play that they tried to establish here. And when you're going in contact with a couple of sheriffs, you need to be holding these angles where you know you can get a headshot through, rather than having to move across mid. And that's left Surf alone. He might be able to salvage a weapon here at best. But what are you going to do with it? Is it a save? Because you've got a flank coming in your way. And even windows being populated right now. He's heard the drop down. Hot Sauce is expecting him. That is really well done. Awareness at best here. And XIPTO once again start off with a similar fashion to the previous map. 1 and 4.
Yeah, they almost always manage to take the early advantage. Build up your economy. Build up your ultimates. All 5 available on XIPTO Esports right now. And they probably won't even need the overdrive up until their economy breaks, which, let's be honest, is not going to break anytime soon. They destroyed Talon's economy after winning the second round, and they've won every single subsequent round with more than 3 players alive, so they don't even need to reinvest in weapons. They are just rolling in money. They're like Scrooge McDuck right now from DuckTales, the pool of gold.
Oh no,
finally.
Hot Sauce
with the commitment. Oh my god, Snappy
Down A.
sprays them down. Did they even get stuck in his tripwire, or was that just
a camera
firing?
No, that was just a camera.
Man.
No, not the camera, forgive me, the ultimate, the neural theft.
Damn. Especially given the delay that neural theft has on activation, he's still able to spray them down. That's very impressive. It's not like a SOA recon which gives you live feed of where your opponent is.
Yep. Well, Bismillah is gonna have to hold on to his horses here. He's hoping for that Heaven Peak to come through. He's ready to challenge it, but the tripwire, seen it. Yeah, this thing. He's confused. You saw that? He's confused as to where exactly it is. He couldn't see it until you come up close and personal. Even then, you're gonna get a little confused. Oh, he actually gets.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Wow, he actually found 2 there because he managed to crouch through that tripwire. That's the only fault of it, if at all anything.
Yeah, like if you know about it, then you can crouch under it, so you can't exactly rely on information for that. This is very clearly a kill trip through and through. But still, nice spray downs from almost everybody in this round. Snappy with a lovely triple, then you had Bismillah Peak with a double of his own, and he's breaking a high-low setup with that spray down, by the way, which is very, very hard to do.
Yeah.
And then another double kill from the side of Cole Palmer. Lovely round, full of some lovely frag highlights. Replay boy is gonna have a day with this.
Oh, the aggression on A. Give them easy control, but what they don't know is that there's gonna be... Oh my god! The Sova's 1 HP. Stuns across both ends, but the one and only who's not stunned will get away with it. Cole Palmer outplayed there, as he had no support whatsoever and no trading potential. But look at this. Snappy. He expects one to be towards that deeper side of B, but does he clear it? He's just gonna sit deeper, and Jah's gone. Yep, that's a really good kill.
Try running out. They don't know the surf is over here.
There they are.
And now he's got backup as well. The recon not allowing him to pre-fire everything. Surf with the triple. XIPTO don't check his shot, and it all comes crumbling down.
The awareness. I don't know if he actually spotted him there, knew that he was there, but the fact that he checked that the entire way, Snappy, really well done. 3-4, and instantly they bring it back here. Talon Academy, 2 rounds in a row. They've got a little bit of money in the bank as well. But XIPTO aren't far away. They are good for another 2 rounds, even if they lose this one. And they've got a Rolling Thunder, not to mention. Oh, the recon gives him away. Teletubbies, free kill for him. And the rest of XIPTO instantly getting away from there, making sure they go towards the B side. Trip's been broken. Smokes need to come through, but they're looking to fight Link. Rolling Teletubbies, the trades on both sides. Jah makes it an even trade. Lewin Make sure that Emin can't get away with a burst shot there. And it's a one-man show, which will also be taken out as he tries to just find a body for information. Talon Academy.
That was so chaotic. Oh my god. First of all, how did he actually let the loading thunder rip? I thought he would have been killed before he even gets to pop the ultimate.
I thought the same.
He doesn't. So Talon Academy just activate a massive earthquake. XIPTO are thrown in the air, their feet swept off the ground, and then Talon Academy use that to just line up their bodies.
Yep. Oh, this is going to be another one of those similar situations. This time he tucked himself away. But Cole Palmer's holding a very obscure angle here. Smoke's gonna come in right in front of him to protect that A-shot angle. Nobody's gonna be too unaware of that. And back towards A they go. Cole Palmer again holding a very cheeky angle here. Could get away with one. Gets off at the wrong time. Timing's against him. The flash comes through. He's still playing it for information. And look at Snappy. Does he suspect one coming in from garage? The Cyphers both at a wall's end across each other. He's heard the camera, so he knows that the camera's constantly checking mid. But the A side is where all the action's gonna be. Cole Palmer stunned, taken out as well. And look at that from Fixie. Amazing entry here. And he doubles it up as well.
Set of frags from XIPTO Esports. They're winning almost every duel. And Fixie is a beast, unnamed, but Snappy with the timing. He is so good. Catches them both with their pants down. Now with very little time left, Hot Sauce has no choice but to stick the spike. And there's only two possibilities where Snappy can come from. Hot Sauce tries to account for them both,
my
but
god!
Snappy with the 1v3 clutch. A quadra overall to secure this round for Talon Academy, and with this they have taken the lead. They've strung together 4 rounds in a row, Universe.
Yeah. And this is going to give them an ultimate as well. Actually give them so much to work with in terms of economy. And they've got the Neon ult on the back of it, which they were going to get anyway. But Snappy's round makes it just a little bit more easier for them to actually start maybe doing a little bit more than just take that aim and control, which they've gotten every time, by the way, but it's re-cleared almost every single time. Maybe if they're able to actually give Cole Palmer a judge this time around, have him sit near that A cavity, I think it's going to be very useful for them, because I don't think XIPTO will expect that at all.
XIPTO Esports, desperate to take this tactical timeout. Whatever advantage they had built up has now been nullified. And sure, you can say that they didn't make the mistakes every single time, but you're letting all these clutches through. So even though you're doing everything right, and even though you're getting the man advantage at the start of the round, you can't hold on to it. Once is a fluke, twice is perhaps a pattern, and something has to be done about this, because Snappy has been getting these multi-kills upon multi-kills, and XIPTO have been walking into these traps so often. Like 2 times in 2 different rounds, you failed to account for someone coming in via a shot. And XIPTO have fallen victim to that twice. You can't afford to keep repeating these mistakes again.
I agree. It's gonna take a little bit of patience here now. That recon, oh, it doesn't detect him. Snappy's not gonna be checked here, and he's gonna have 1 free kill to his name. How has that happened? That recon's far here, and White missed him. The trade will come through, the Hot Sauce will take him out, but it's still going to be a difficult round for XIPTO if they're not able to make some headway apart from just this little outside of garage position, because they're covered from multiple angles. The swing's gonna come through. Emin finds the opening, and now it's a 4v2. They've got a neural theft, but it's gonna not be that useful as long as they know that the flanks come in. Yep, and there it is. Surf, 1 to face off. The Guardian's gonna hold him off for a single second. but they're gonna have to double peek this. There we go. Ja double peeks it. Bismillah gets the one on the flank. 5-5. Talon, don't let it go out just yet. Forgive me. XIPTO, don't let it go out just yet.
Yeah, but XIPTO also did not really need to do much. It's basically Talon Academy trying to force these fights against XIPTO, and XIPTO were just ready for them. Whether it's on the flank, whether it's in garage, XIPTO stick together, and by virtue of sticking together, they're able to out-trade anything that Talon Academy throw at them. Plus, let's be honest, Teletubbies did not really set his teammates up for the best fights. The fault lines and the flashes were lacking, which could have given Talon Academy a massive advantage going into that battle. But then again, they didn't expect all of XIPTO to be there in the first place. Look at this trip by Aja, placing it outside of garage, making sure that nobody uses this to re-clear, while he himself goes and tucks himself at the mouth of B. He's done this before, you know, he's tucked himself outside of B before, and last time Snappy came around and killed him from behind. This time he's put down the tripwire just to make sure that doesn't happen. But he needs to make some impact over here. Otherwise, whatever fix he does on A, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna force out any rotations. Oh, poor Farmer overstaying his weapon. And Ja, finally his lurk pays off. Levin killed. So XIPTO have acquired a kill on A and B. Where did they go with this now?
Just gotta be careful. He does have an opening though. This B side's been completely forsaken by Talon Academy, and that's exactly the read that they've made. Hot sauce. Just making sure that he gets as much of the side as possible, and Snappy, trying to be a little sneaky, does not find anything. Teletubbies just gonna hold on as I think right before the flash, a save call was made, and that's gonna be round number 6 for XIPTO.
Do Talon even go for this? I think they just go for the save, right?
No, they're saving. Yeah, they're absolutely saving for sure.
Not much money in the next round to work with either, so these weapons will be crucial.
Right there.
Both on the money?
Right there.
The problems on... the bigger problem for Talon Academy will be the ultimates that XIPTO Esports have now. Because the only big ultimate that Talon Academy will probably end up in the next round is going to be from the shadows, and let's be honest, compared to Rolling Thunder and the Hunter's Fury, it's not much.
Yeah.
Oh, both of them revealed. Can he at least get one?
Round in the half.
Nah.
$65. It's been pretty close so far for both these teams, even after Talon Academy were down 4-1 at a certain point. The fact that they pulled it back all this way is, of course, commendable. But they need another round to make sure that XIPTO don't get away with even a single ounce of an advantage going into the second half. A judge in his hands and the world to take out. No challenge on A this time around. Just a smoke early on. And XIPTO don't really care about that. They don't bother themselves with it because they're hoping that somebody's going to push up from C. We get some sort of play there. And they're heading into the Cypher, hoping that just because he's alone and these tripwires can be broken down, they will get that C site a lot more easier. And they will. The jump spot comes though. Snappy instantly having a lot of pressure come his way. Counter stun comes through. They spot out the Neon as well. The recon's been broken. And XIPTO have been discouraged from the C side with really good counter utility usage.
Yeah. Talon Academy were doing this against G Academy as well. Didn't think it would work on XIPTO though. But hey, as long as they can stave off these aggressive pushes, Talon Academy buy themselves more space. Levin uses his ultimate as like a expensive recon dart, doesn't see anyone, so he continues to hold on to this area. But XIPTO haven't really shown any presence towards C and Garage in a while, so Talon Academy get the wrong idea. They start rotating towards the A side, but then instantly pivot back to C. Snappy needs some backup, he needs it now. The paranoia is perfect, lets him get a double, and then he turns around to get the kill onto Pixie as well. What a hero performance from Snappy. That triple gives his team a fighting chance. They know they're both isolated. If they can force the fight against Celeb here, it would be a nice double peek. And now it's a 1v2. The camera placement detects Surf. And now the tripwire as well. They can toy around with him for ages. Oh no, he did not dodge the recon. I thought he would just walk past it.
Yeah, but it was enough because the aftershock kept him off the defuse here. Surf has to play for the kill here. Gets the one. Stun comes through. That's more than enough to take him out. The stun almost came through. Cosmetic stun. Almost there, but Eamon at 3 HP, able to clutch it out for his team. And that is going to secure number 7 and a 2-point advantage for XIPTO as they go into the second half.
What a close last round, though. This honestly could have gone either way. And if it wasn't for XIPTO Esports figuring out that Teletubbies was alone and winning the fight against him, this whole round was Talon's to win. We might have a little bit of a pause here as we see Fixie disconnected. So we'll wait for him to come back. Once that is done, we will resume the game. That being said, though, Fixie has been really feeling himself on this Neon.
Absolutely. He's been very comfortable, just as comfortable as Cole Palmer has been. And I think they're going to exert the same sort of force that, you know, this side of Talon Academy has done in terms of taking their aim in control, because every time you have that, it just gives you that much confidence to kind of just move on ahead and find space that basically eliminates close to 35% of the map. Reclearing that also warrants a lot of utility, which needs to come in just for a fight, and then you have to worry about how you are going to take the site as well. So a lot of work here to be done from XIPTO if they want to keep the same amount of control as Talon Academy did towards that A side. But is that their game plan? We'll find out in just a couple of seconds.
I mean, given what Talon were doing on Icebox, will have to be clear because Talon loves spreading out and capturing both ends of the map simultaneously. So yeah, XIPTO will have to use a lot of that utility to re-clear these areas because you can't really take a shot. The problem that they were facing on Icebox as well, but at least on Icebox, XIPTO were able to deal with this problem. You know, they could fairly convincingly figure out where Talon are headed. But even then, even after figuring out and having the insights, there were occasions where Cole Palmer was able to sell the fake well enough to keep 3 of the XIPTO players stationed on the wrong bomb site. So yeah, those kind of performances from Cole Palmer have been very convincing simply because he just really commits to the fake, right? You're committing bodies to the fake. He's entering on the back of flashes like it's a full-blown execute. And then surprise, surprise, all of a sudden XIPTO realized, wait a second, we dealt with this guy, where are the others? Oops, they're on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
So XIPTO came to that realization quite a lot of times on Icebox. And after falling for it like some 3-4 times, they figured out that maybe we should not rotate very early. Maybe we need to re-clear stuff, and that is easy to do when you have a Harbor and a Viper on your team. You know, you can deny a lot of information that way. You can keep your opponents at bay.
Yeah.
But with just a single controller, you will be forced to either save your recon when you actually need to re-clear or hope that, you know, the recharge timing of the recon aligns with whenever you want to go do it.
Yeah, well, here we go. Back into the game we are. A control again, exactly the same way, and they expected it. The recon's been broken instantly, but it's a fake piece of control from the side of XIPTO. It's a phantom just to throw them off and make them convinced that, yeah, C site's where you need to go. They've spotted the Cypher already. Here he comes. The tripwire, though, is perfect. It takes him out. No, Cole Palmer's going to find the kill while being stunned and revealed as well. Eamon does get the trade, though, but it's not good enough as XIPTO are still going to be in a 3v4 with a disadvantage to their name. And Bismillah, while he comes on the flank, the tripwire is going to keep him at bay for a couple more seconds. He's broken it, though. And now his teammates need to start moving in. The flash is amazing. The cover-up is good. And now, all on the Sova. He gets taken out as well. Eamon, as long as he can stay alive here, he's just going to wait for bullets to come his flying way. And Snappy's going to deliver those. 6-7. Talon Academy once again winning the second pistol.
Talon Academy have indeed been very good on these pistols. It's rather unfortunate that they lost the second round in the first half, and XIPTO managed to convert that into a 4-1 head start. If that same thing happens again, then XIPTO might just be the strongest eco team in this tournament. Or rather, Talon will be the most ineffective anti-eco team. But I do believe the Talon Academy will be playing rather carefully. Can't break the recon, so they just wait for it. The shock touch should destroy the tripwires, and look at Pixie, he's already peeking on the back of it. I don't think Snappy expects a flank this quickly. Literally 10-20 seconds into the round and you're already on the verge of backstabbing your opponent. That's how fast XIPTO are this time. Ja gets the kill onto Cole Palmer. That's a lovely way to recover. And now, if it wasn't for the paranoia, he probably could have got more. Paranoia actually hits
No way!
What? He's done it again!
Oh my god.
XIPTO Esports win the second round every single time. And once again, whatever momentum Talon Academy had acquired by winning the pistol has been thwarted, has been shoved down the drain.
That's just really
That goes there. This goes here.
I've played to a bad level. You know you've got your opponents on ecos. You're giving them favorable fights by just running into their faces. I'm not saying that they didn't check the corner, they did, but they didn't check every corner, and then crossfires being manipulated on the go is exactly what they lost to, and now they're just gonna get taken down C-long one after the other. Lewin does get a trade as Ja's looking for another free kill here. Not gonna get anything, just a touch of damage onto Lewin. It's Cole Palmer, 35 HP. Surviving and picks up the orb as well. 3v4.
And XIPTO Esports, they are in no hurry. The ball is in the court of Talon Academy. There's very few options left from them now. You've got Fixie holding A long aggressively, so XIPTO know that there's nobody over here. Stripfire will be broken, but I don't think Riza is in any hurry to re-clear this. He doesn't even bother sending out his recon to figure out if it's a real attack or no. Just continue staying there. And XIPTO Esports, I believe they will continue playing passively and it will work out for them. Oh, potentially clash on B.
Ooh.
Yeah, Snappy can't exactly snap back. Nice done. Ja has been completely neutralized, but he still wins the battle.
I mean, he was 1 HP. He was 1 bullet away, and all he needed to do was connect that 1 bullet. Ja gets him, and then the remaining just cover up for him perfectly. We again stand on the same footing as we did in the previous map. It is 9-6 as XIPTO once again dominate on the back of a very strong, just classic-based anti-eco round.
And that's how you do an anti-eco. Lesson to be learned from XIPTO Esports here.
I'm out of here.
Pick up these fights in a rather favorable fashion, but Pixie, that shock dart dealt a lot more damage than I thought it would. As soon as the drone comes through, they'll know he's here. They can actually stand. Discourage the Neon from going any further. But Pixie continues staying here. Lovely shot.
Spike down A.
Riza and Pixie, both of them just lining up the kill feed. 2 kills. They have been traded. Look at this re-clear from Garage. Snappy's ready for this one. Oh my lord, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Wait a moment.
There's not a lot of times when you can see someone hug that wooden box and still get 2 kills from there.
Yeah. Eman, afraid of the fact that this Cypher could be lurking around anywhere, has to check every single corner possible. Lots going through, but Eman walking through that smoke. Gutsy choice. Unfortunately, it was the wrong one to make. Garage has been cleaned, but now it's been occupied by the Neon. And he's got quite the bit of work to do here. And 2 of them watching this angle. First headshot connects, but Surf was ready for the trade. 7-9 as XIPTO will have to concede on the back of a very, very good, snappy round.
Pun intended. Lovely performance from Snappy. I mean, XIPTO had the man advantage early on. They had a 2-man advantage. And if it wasn't for Snappy and his heroics, this round probably would not have gone in Talon Academy's favor. But still, XIPTO Esports have enough money to continue purchasing. They have a lot more credits on Riza, 4,000 available on him. The big guns out though, the operator's ready. Boldly takes the orb and then gets away. What a Giga Chad. I thought he would be punished for overstaying his welcome, but no. Talon Academy, respect this space. And Riza uses Talon's own brick smoke, their own control smoke to take the orb and get away from there.
Snappy, looking for a similar kind of round from the previous one. This time around, he will be awaited and he will be taken out. No more Cypher triad tricks here, says the Omen. But Ja's got a bit of work to do now.
They found my wire.
The Cypher cage gonna be triggered. The tripwire broken. The stun is perfect on the back of that. They know one's on site. He's taken out. The trade comes through though. Colin Palmer. And now Ja's gonna play for a bit of chaos. There goes the ultimate. A little late on the mark there.
Yeah, if that camera was active for just a couple more seconds, maybe it would have been able to provide live minimap feed for the Hunter's Fury. But wait, you don't need the Hunter's Fury to start killing. Ja goes in for a massive dive. He gets on top of the box to get those kills. And XIPTO Esports get double digits.
Team Ace.
Well, they aren't feeling any short of any confidence. And the Cypher, I feel like, he just kind of crawled in a little too early. I think Snappy could have waited for his teammates to break the first tripwire. I think that would have probably confused Hot Sauce a little bit to maybe start walking back while looking at the same angle. And then maybe in that little moment of, tension that he probably makes the incision point towards Garage. But hey, he got a little confident and unfortunately paid the price for it. And now it is 10-7. And Talon Academy have got a bunch of good ultimates here to use as well. They can force the issue with that Neon Overdrive, which gives them a lot of space to work with.
But I don't think they'll use it just yet. They've got the weapons. They'll probably save the Overdrive for a round where they have absolutely nothing to work with. They're using their sheriffs and whatnot.
My camera is destroyed.
Early camera destroyed. But 2K just posted up on C-Long. Probably to keep himself alive for longer over there. Oh my god, Hot Sauce gets away with a sliver of HP. Fixie. This is a very difficult angle to peek with an AWP, especially when you have Surf against you. And now that they've acquired this kill on Garage, they're gonna hightail it towards the A site. Reza lies over here alone. Lovely way to take care of Cole Palmer. Plucks his head off midair. The fault line, it actually affects him. He's playing ahead so that he doesn't get cleared.
I know exactly.
They needed a control smoke over here and it doesn't arrive from XIPTO, so he dies and it's a 3v4 now.
Lee Win knows that the flank's coming, takes care of him. He's got a little bit more pressure on top of him, which is currently being guarded by his breach. Come on, what can you do? You've got a flash to work with, not the shock as well, but a little bit confusion, a little starving of information there causes him to lose his life. Ja's gonna just have to lose both his shields that regenerate and gonna have to work with the last one that he's got, which means the regenerative shield will be bought back in the next round unless he chooses to just save it and drop a weapon to his teammates. The AWP, he's gonna come for the AWP, isn't he? No, he's just gonna stay in spawn. Good decision, doesn't lose his life there. 8-10, Talon Academy not going back by more than 3 rounds just yet. They want to keep this as competitive as possible.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job with that. The fact that you keep the XIPTO economy slightly humble will be very beneficial for you in the long run. But now that XIPTO have taken a tactical timeout of their own, I do believe that XIPTO will start playing proactively. I mean, they have been playing quite proactively, I mean, every now and then when they don't get any contest on a lobby, they would send Cole Palmer. I'm sorry, not Cole Palmer. They will send Fixie up close towards a lobby to just hold that area down by himself. And because he doesn't see anyone, they can then easily figure out that Talon Academy are gonna hit C. It's gonna be inevitable. So by taking up any space that Talon Academy doesn't contest, XIPTO Esports are activating all these early warning systems. So I guess now they need to keep that win condition active. What Talon Academy can do to deal with that is just use their contact bursts really effectively, because XIPTO are only taking away space when Talon Academy give it to them, when they don't contest any space. So if they keep up their old playstyle of spreading out on either side of the map and then bursting out, XIPTO won't be able to take that early space, and then Talon will have a lot more breathing room.
Well, let's find out if they're going to be able to do that. Snappy, early cam. Oh, he just about missed the op there. He's going to break that. Well done. And that's going to allow Fixie to get himself set up here. And that Cypher's in big trouble if he decides to peek out. Good alertness to make sure that he puts down a cage. A tripwire to follow it up, which has also been broken. So now that A site is constantly under a bit of attention, you're going to have to worry about the flank all the time. Ja. Now he's in trouble, but he's got 2 cages to help himself around. The tripwires have not been broken just yet. Talon are still playing with the map control that they've gotten so far, as they're still worried about that A main flank, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're just going to get inside garage and then park themselves there. They're not peeking, they're not revealing themselves. They just stand in garage and wait, 3 of them climb up window? Are they going to burst out of here? Or are they waiting for XIPTO to re-clear and then punish them? Ja,
oh my god!
Much trouble. Hotos is here to help them. Snappy and Teletubbies with 2 kills of their own, but XIPTO Esports have effectively dealt with the threat. They've got the man advantage. And they don't even know that Rizza can come up from behind. Surf gets completely smothered. Yeah, and Snappy gets shot as he tries to recover the spike. XIPTO Esports. They knew that things are getting a little too silent, man. It's very sus that Talon Academy to take control of Garage and then they just stand there.
Yeah.
Surely they're planning something. Surely they're planning a burst. And the burst did come through, except
it came a little late.
Garage. Yeah. And it came out towards Garage rather than on site. So while it surprises XIPTO Esports momentarily, they're able to deal with the aggression nonetheless.
Well, that timeout clearly worked out for them, and now they've got 2 ultimates to work with as well. The Rolling Thunder is going to be very useful in these death rounds, especially when you're playing for the map point. Fixie going to be given a bit of an avenue to set himself up here, and he's got the op. Does he choose to just kind of go forward? Yep, he's got the angle now. Teletubbies, he's got a flash ready. Oh my god, stuff.
Great pick by Talon Academy. And this is what happens when XIPTO get a little too overeager. They're becoming overeager once again. They're still trying to force the issue towards a shot. Rizza looking to peek while I'm guessing the breach holds the fault line. No, he doesn't actually. I thought there would be a fault line from A main. I'm sorry, not A main, from a link towards shot, but that did not come through. And even Snappy gets a lurking kill, so XIPTO are just falling like flies. That too in all different parts of the map. So they can't even like help each other out.
Yeah. This should be a save for Ja and Eman.
30 seconds left.
Spot. Ja dodges the stun. Looking for one. Not gonna get anything. The stun is gonna hold him in place. He's still somehow alive. He still somehow finds 2. Almost a 3rd as well. And Eman, he's going for the stun here. He's got a Rolling Thunder to work with. It might actually be his way to flush this out. Checks the close corner. Spots one. Goes for the fight. 1v2. Information on one being on site. A tripwire on CT is hurt, so which means they're not going to be that direction. But Teletubbies has an op. The one retrieved earlier on. And that's going to make this number 9 for Talon Academy. But they've been exchanging blows so far, and if it is to continue the same way, XIPTO are to head to match point right now. But what an effort from Ja there.
XIPTO have the big ultimates as well. They've got the Hunter's Fury, Overdrive, and the Rolling Thunder. Unfortunately for them, Talon Academy have all of that, and from the shadows. This is going to be the big brawl round. Will XIPTO Esports invest the ultimates in this one? I'm guessing not, because they only have like one Guardian and 3 Sheriffs. But wait, one of the first ultimates to come through is this Overdrive. And it might just be thwarted. It might just be stopped before it can get any value. Yeah, he runs out of the Overdrive. And that's one big ultimate laid to waste. Kited it out so well.
Bit of information, re-clearance towards that B main side. And
Yeah,
Talon, no real hesitation, no real sense of speediness to kind of get back into this round. They're going to take their time, clear every single corner, and explore every single avenue. Bismillah.
Yeah, XIPTO had,
XIPTO
had pushed out a little too much. So Talon will have to be very thorough and very meticulous clearing out all these angles, because they knew that XIPTO members, even though they've feigned falling back, they could still be anywhere.
My eyes are
Nice shot.
30 seconds left.
Took charges.
One's gone down. Talon Academy in an advantageous position.
I'm out of here.
The Neon hoping to run through, but he's got no slide. Just kind of playing around here. The stun's gonna hold him off for a second. He goes through, finds the one, finds the second, looking for another slide, a little too over ambitious. Managing to weapon up himself here as Eamon drops it to Hot Sauce, and they're actually going for this. It is an eco, so they're like, yeah, you know what, why the hell not? They've got 2 smokes, another one comes through here. They could body block for one and get the other. No way. Not like this. Not like that. Oh, came close enough, but no cigar.
Yeah, that was a heart attack special. I almost thought XIPTO will pull it off. And that would be a terrible way to lose the round, man. Getting ninja'd when your opponent's at map point hurts the most.
My eyes.
Quite the round here. Came pretty close though. They got a bunch of weapons off of them. So it is commendable for that fact. They've got so much more work to do here. Have to be on point. This could be the last buy which they could compete in. XIPTO. Because if they lose this, that's going to give the opponents an opportunity to close out this map. 10 to 11. Talon slow things down once again. No real rush here. And that's been working for them so far. Keeping XIPTO info-starved has actually worked out pretty well for them.
I don't know if they are info-starved, but they're taking a big gamble. XIPTO Esports have left the B side completely unattended. No Cypher util over here as well. All they've done is placed a normal smoke over there, which will hopefully keep them away. But a blind Hunter's Fury, and he still gets a pick. That's brilliant.
Yeah. He's going to drone out A-main as well, and that's drawing so much attention. They know he's there. There's a camera on shot. Eamon's holding B, but Snappy with the crouch peek gets him through. One away from the neural theft, and if he's able to find that in Garage, that's such amazing value. But no, they pivot towards C instantly. Okay, that's a cancel. Hot just sticking out Snappy, and the camera spots him out. The timing is wonderful, and Ja walks it to perfection. And suddenly, it's just gone from a 4v4 to a 4v2 in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, stopping that C push on C was unexpected, but the way you kill Ja, wow, that's brilliant. Even Hot Sauce with a lovely double. And he did not even need any help. Deals with the trading so effectively. See, this is impressive. You had no information. Jarge is using the camera as perfect distraction. The bait and switch is beautiful.
I was so close to saying, oh my god, he's going to leave the camera now. He's going to leave the camera now and he's going to walk out. And then he, you know, as usual, the Valorant timing, the game, you know how it behaves. I thought that was going to happen. But I think he was just a second away from it because of that Omen ult. And then, to his very good fortune, was able to find the right timing on that Neon.
Yeah, even the Neon got so confused. Cole Palmer had no idea that who would be brave enough to use a camera in this kind of a situation. Looked in the wrong direction and got swung so hard. And XIPTO Esports, despite not having the advantage in terms of weaponry and everything, they just used the ultimate and let it rip. A map point, series point secured. And XIPTO was just one round away from winning the entirety of Global Esports Fight Night.
This is going to be a tough round to face off. You're going to have to be very, very careful here. One single mistake could throw everything off the charts. And here they go. Talon Academy on the attack, Rolling Thunder, Hunter's Fury, everything available to them. And to cause all of that chaos, Cole Palmer's got his one. But all could be ended right here if the one kill comes through. It does. The stun is perfect. There is a Rolling Thunder, but it dodges everybody as both these players from the side of XIPTO find kills even before these ultimates could be put to use. That Rolling Thunder goes to absolutely nothing. It is of no value. I said the only thing it does is just phase them off from not taking any more extra fights. Snappy with the ultimate.
I mean, the Rolling Thunder was used in response to the relay bolt. Otherwise, they would have all died over there. Imagine baiting out a Rolling Thunder just by using a relay bolt and scaring your opponents into believing that they are dead. Fasting keeps them alive, and then Snappy with the shenanigans on Garage is making things even harder. But it's Ya to end the game. He almost could have finished it. Teletubbies now offered a chance. Fakes out the tap. Will anyone from XIPTO bite the bait? No, they don't. And they know for a fact that Teletubbies will try to extend forward. He can isolate these fights over here, but it's not gonna happen. Ladies and gentlemen, XIPTO Esports are your winners of Global Esports Fight Night. They've done it before. They defeated Talon Esports 2-0 previously as well. And in the revenge match, they deny them any sort of a comeback, beating them 2-0 yet again.
Yeah, and even with better scorelines this time around as well. It was 13-11 twice last time. It's 13-9 and 13-10. And they've done much better, playing them at their own game with the same kind of compositions. It's been really, really entertaining to watch both these teams. Talon Academy, moments of brilliance every now and then, but just not enough to get them across the line.
A lot of moments of brilliance. There were so many instances where multi-kills from Snappy saved the day. Multi-kills from Cole Palmer. They opened up the avenues. And I must say that there is quite a lot of talent on this new Talon Academy roster. Even though we've been calling them by their fake names the entire tournament because we don't know who the real players are yet. I do believe that Talon Academy are up to something, man. They've got all the heat on their stove on, then they are cooking. I'm guessing this is a rather new roster, which is why they haven't really revealed all their players. They haven't even been announced yet. And if Talon Academy already look this good, I think they have a lovely future ahead of them. So kudos to Talon Academy for putting up such a big fight on such a short notice. But credit where it's due, even XIPTO Esports, they have so many plays in their playbook. Their book runs deep, man. It's a thick, fat book.
Yeah, it most surely is. It has been XIPTO's game to control all this while. Even the rounds that they lost, some of them were because they actually ended up giving away a bunch of things themselves with their individual fights, right? So a lot of this, Talon did really well, but I feel like XIPTO were in control of majority of the game, and they were able to actually suffice with what they had in terms of utility because they were playing off the contact like these rounds, right? Where you don't expect a flank to come in that quickly. And then, of course, the anti-eco rounds that they won in both maps, man. Really, really good stuff.
Really good indeed, man. I mean, you're right. The anti-eco is just completely thwarted the momentum of Talon Academy. Imagine winning both your pistols. That's a very good thing. But then you lose both the subsequent anti-eco rounds. And I think that was all the difference that it made. You know, if Talon were just able to continue the momentum of the pistol win, they probably would have been able to string a couple more rounds together. instead of having their economy destroyed at the beginning of every single half.
Yeah,
So it's a major contributing factor to XIPTO's success.
absolutely was. And overall, it has been a great tournament so far. Even with the tech issues that we had on day one, it's been pretty amazing to watch these teams play the way that they have, and exactly what we expected came to be. A lot of entertaining Valorant here, and two teams that showed their absolute best. Complete individualities being shown as well as complete team plays being shown, and yeah, obscure moments like these were random as Hunter's Fury just connects somehow.
Yeah.
Things just go their way.
Yeah, man. I mean, he must have had some next level sixth sense to connect that Hunter's Fury blind without any scans, without any pre-existing information. And then towards the end, you managed to bait out the Rolling Thunder as well, only because the relay bolt hits so hard, almost everybody on your team is stunned. So yeah, great way to perform from both these teams. And honestly, I thought this game would go into an overtime, man. Given the way Talon Academy were playing, they really
Kinda
brought
looked like
XIPTO
it.
Esports to the edge.
Yeah, it did kind of look like it, that I thought that, Talon Esports were chasing every round after the other. I thought after getting that 2 rounds in a row where they made it 10 and 11, I thought, you know what, this just might go the distance. But XIPTO, being as precise as they are in these, very crucial moments, have kept things in their hands and have taken the title of the winner of GE's Fight Night.
Yep. And that brings us to the end of Global Esports Fight Night. Obviously, we will have a lot more of these tournaments. The whole point of GE Fight Night is to give these teams a chance to practice in a much more high-stakes environment. We all know that scrims are important for a team's progress, but scrimming alone sometimes is not enough, and you can't exactly simulate match-like conditions anywhere else, and that's the whole point of GE Fight Night.
Absolutely.
It is to stimulate match-like conditions, have a broadcast, have casters display this to the world. And when teams participate in this, even though they are practicing, they treat it like a tournament game so that they can feel the pressure, get accustomed to what it's like having all the attention on you. And that being said, we would like to thank XIPTO Esports and Talon Academy both for participating in this tournament. Yes, GE Academy have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But with each passing game, with each passing fight night, GE Academy gets stronger. And we would like to thank both of these teams from the bottom of our hearts for giving us a chance to practice against them.
Absolutely. Thank you, Talon. And thank you, XIPTO Esports, for gracing Fight Night with your presence and showing us some amazing Valorant. But ladies and gentlemen, that will be it from this edition. We will be back very soon with the next one. New teams, much more Valorant, and of course, another chance for Global Esports Academy to see if they can stand up taller against some of these teams from the rest of the Pacific. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you the next time. Bye-bye. Have fun. And don't forget, always G fighting.
Just a skin. Crafted for precision for those who dare to rise above. This is the Global Esports VCT 2025 team capsule.
And it's calling, and it keeps on calling. So it's calling. You know when the calling's calling more.
It doesn't just sit in your hand, it becomes a part of you. When you wield this GE Classic, you wield the undying spirit of Global Esports.
You know when the calling's calling. And it keeps on calling. It's calling more. And it feels like I'm falling. I'm falling. You know when the calling's calling more. And it feels like I'm falling.
The GE VCT 2025 team capsule. Available in-game in the Esports tab.